I am sure sports. No me there from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
18 Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Tricnic Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Good evening and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, Manningsman. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. It's a great day. You know, recovering. Recovery can be very difficult, but I'm here and I have life and I'm absolutely grateful for that life. I hope, like I said, you had a good day. It is a very good show that we're going to have today. We're going to be discussing recently, we had an interview with Andrew Peart, who is head at the Jamaica, the JFF, Jamaica Football Federation coaching school. And so he shared with us some information today that we want to share to all the coaches out there in Jamaica who needs to know what is happening and when it is happening. So we're going to give you those details. We're going to tell you what the cost will be, where the venues will be, what the courses will also entail, how you can register, provide you with the registration forms, how you can pay whatever needs to be paid. We're going to show you a pyramid in terms of what is entailed at the D level, the C level, the B level, and the A level. So all coaches, aspiring coaches, if you know someone, you can let them know that this will be worthwhile information for them. Listen, big up Ricardo Baggio. I swear that is shipping port. Shipping port, is that you, Ricardo Baggio? I swear that is shipping port. Shipping port, people, if that is shipping port, I think that is even, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you need to tell me. See me in the comment section. If that is you, this man says he has. When it comes down to schoolboy football, he has a lot of information. You need to talk to him if that's the man. All right, Ricardo Baggio, he goes by. Unseen Sports TV, good to see you as well in the comment section. And also want to pay tribute to our sponsors. Tricnic. Tricnic is a Jamaican owned and operated company that operates right out of Canada. They use authentic. Remind me. Oh, geez, remind me. You know, Ricardo Baggio told me the name before. So remind me again, right? Remind me who Ricardo Baggio is. You know me and I know your summer's name. Please tell me. remind me. But Tricnic is a Jamaican owned and operated company out of Canada, and they use authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. And guess what? They're offering 25% discount still on everything they sell in partnership with I Am Sure Sports. So all you have to do is shop at www.tricnic.ca and use the code I Am Sure Sports 001. Listen, if you're in Canada, in the United States, or in Jamaica, please show them some love and support them. In fact, I have two persons. One is for address in Montego Bay, and the other is for address in Kingston. I really need to, need to, and really need to get, to get the gifts to you. So if you're listening to the program tonight, reach back out to me. I have so many numbers in this number. I'm trying to figure out who they sent me the message. They sent me the persons who supposed to get the packages that we promised. So we're going to do that. They won in December. So please reach back out to me and say, I am the one. You understand me? Don't say it wasn't me. Say, I am the one, and we will get the packages to you. They also have a book that they're giving away. And so we are happy. Tonight, we're going to give away some credit as well. So stay tuned for that. You could walk away before the show ends with $500 Jamaican credit. Yes, Paul Watkins. You know that we had an interview scheduled with Leon Fairweather. It never worked out. Then we tried to call again. I'm hoping that he will reach back out. But we have been trying to reach back out to him so we can have an interview. But we did have something set up, and just a little thing kind of, you know how phones are, never saw the call, never received the call, and so he wasn't able to come on. But we are going to ensure that we get that done. So indeed, Leon Fairweather, we will have him on in due time. All right. So please, just know that Paul Watkins. But so if you know, let him know that we did try even call him up to today, and we didn't get through. But he's one of those persons who won with Dintil, when they won the Acosta Cup under coach Frank Brown, represented Jamaica, that we also have an interview scheduled to do with. So you can stay tuned for that. All right. Now, my Dintil fans, let me say it again. I do believe that Dintil is going to be in the finals. I see Dintil and Clarendon College. We're not going to talk a lot about schoolboy football, but I have to call out my friend Shoko. All right. So, Shuko, big up yourself. Big Dintil fan out there, all right? So, Shuko says, I am being very disingenuous. And I don't agree. And here's why. So, he watched Mannings play for the first time in St. Elizabeth against Kingston College. He admits that Mannings looked better, created more opportunities. In his opinion, he thinks that Mannings is an ordinary team. My opinion is different. Mannings is a very special team, and on any day, they can beat any of the teams in the Manning Cup and in the DaCosta Cup. However, they lost to Kingston College. They have talented players that at the end of this season, I know that they'll be moving on, if they so desire, outside of Jamaica. They have good quality players, very good team. They lost their first game. If you believe that they're ordinary, that's your opinion. You cannot use your opinion on something you see visually that is different from my opinion to say that I'm disingenuous. That's the wrong way to use the word. Because in the context that you're using it, you're suggesting that I am being insincere. And I am not. I am very sincere in my opinion that Mannings is a big team, a good team. You are sincere based on what you have seen and you believe they're ordinary. I thought, for my friend Shuko, I had to bring clarity to that. But big up Dintil. Hope they don't disappoint me against JC on Saturday. Big up the Formula Sports engineer Claudia, always around, the lady in the building. Now, let me begin by talking to you about a couple of things that has happened in terms of local football. So you'd have heard, right before I get into all that is out there with the coaching thing, I have a lot of things to show you. We're going to speak about that, but you'd have heard that there were 12 coaches who participated in the first CONCACAF C license course staged in Jamaica. All right, that happened late last year. They had a Trinidadian who came in to administer or to really to oversee the Jamaican B coaches teaching the C course to some Jamaican coaches to basically determine if they could leave the Jamaicans by themselves to run the courses. So it was a course to test the teachers, but the teachers gave the opportunity to coaches to do the course. All right? Let me say it again. So CONCACAF officials came to basically measure the capability of the Jamaican coaching school to coach and teach and certify coaches with C license. The coaches that did the teaching were B licensed coaches. The coaches that did the C certification recently, they had what you call the level 2, the advanced level 2 qualifications. All right, so 12 of them, I believe, sat it, male and female coaches, and they all were certified. So now these 20 coaches are C licensed coaches, and I'm going to show you the pyramid so you can understand what the C license qualify you for. All right, now until 2025, please note that all present license will still work and still apply. But by 2025, they'll have different could have missed that, man. Big up, Marvin. Me not to call out to your name out there saying big up, big up, big up. I could have missed that, man. Jeez, I feel so bad. All right. Tashana Vincent, former national female footballer. Tashana Vincent, are you hearing me? Oh, they're saying I'm silent. What? I'm silent. I am silent. Am I silent? Can you hear me now? Oh, they said I went mute a while ago. So, all right. So let me just go over that, right? So recently, CONCACAF came to Jamaica, basically, our CFU, yeah, CONCACAF C license courses, right? CONCACAF, they came to Jamaica to measure the capacity of the B licensed coaches in Jamaica, which is like Andrew Peart and I think Vassar Reynolds, who are the persons who, and Andrew Peart, who heads the Jamaica coaching school. So they came to test to see if the Jamaican B licensed coaches had the capacity to administrate the C license. So they got a passing grade. So now Jamaica is able to run their own C license and D license courses. All right. So some persons were given the opportunity to also get their C license, 20 of them. Tashana Vincent, who is a former national female player, She is the under 20 assistant coach. You had Alicia James. She's the national girls under 17 assistant coach. So 2 female coaches were in that. Dwayne Ambersley of Montego Bay United. Ludlow Bernard of Harborview and Kingston College. Lenworth Hyde of Portmore United and Clarendon College. David Layla of Calabar and Cavaliers. Eric Redamakers of Arnett Gardens. O'Neill Thompson of Humble Lion. Philip Williams of St. Andrew Technical and Tivoli Gardens. Marlon Hilton from the JFF Technical Committee. Andrew Sewell, Waterhouse, and Marvin Tate from Moby United. So these 20 coaches moved from advanced level 2 to C. So it was really a train-the-trainer program, and it was led by the CONCACAF coach, developer, and former Trinidad and Tobago technical director, Anton Carneal. And so the coach educators from the JFF were Andrew Peart, Meron Garden, Vassar Reynolds, Xavier Gilbert, and Rudolph Speed. Right? If you know Lamar Morgan and Andrew Sewell, they specialize in physical preparation and goalkeeper coaching education respectively. But they all have the C license. So the trainers were Rudolph Speed, Xavier Gilbert, Vassal Reynolds, Meron Garden, and Andrew Peart. All right, that's the first bit of information you need to know. Now, prior to all of this, you'd have heard that there was a B license course offered where 8 coaches sat it, 5 passed, and 3 failed. Well, let me say that. 5 passed, 5 out of the 8 passed. I don't want to say 3 failed, right? I don't want to use that term. So 5 passed, all right? You can determine what. So the 5 persons, like again, this was held earlier. Fitzroy, Ambersley, Paul Teagat Davis, Hopeton Gilchrist, Andre Virtue, and Omar Wedderburn. Right? You know Paul Teagat Davis. Most of you probably know Andre Virtue and Omar Ramba Redburn, the coach out there at St. Elizabeth Technical, right? And that one was headed by Andrew Peart again and Wendell Downswell. So we had 5 more persons who qualified as B licensed coaches, and then they're right. Then there were some C licensed coaches. All right. So now, what is this revolution or evolution in the coaching game? I'm going to show you some information, and then we're going to break it down, and I'm going to take some questions from you because there's a lot of information that you need to get. All right. A lot of information out there. Let me see if I should show you this here first. All right. So let's work with this, right? So this is the first bit of information. So if you're taking any information, you need to know this, right? There's a form that you need to fill out to do the courses. I'm going to tell you when the courses are, where the courses are. So this is the instruction document. You have to complete this form. Point 1 says you have to select the hand tool from the Adobe toolbar. Then you position the pointer inside the field and click and enter the text. After doing that, you blah, 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 you do tab. The important thing to know is the email address once you have completed the form that you need to send it to. That is point number 6, which is coaching.education@jff.live. Right? That is coaching.education@jff.live. All right. And this is for the D license course. This is a registration form. You'll see all the relevant information that you need to add, right? Asking you about, just regularly filling out a form. But important note is that the JFF, it says the JFF D license coaching course attracts a cost of 30,000 Jamaican dollars. Please note that this amount must be paid before the course begins, right? And then it tells you where the banking information is. It says the JFF reserves the right to use participants' images for promotional purposes. The JFF cannot be held responsible for any injury sustained to participants for the duration of the course. And then, of course, it says once applicant has been approved, right? Approved for enrollment. Very important. Approved for enrollment. Please pay course fee to account below, then email copy, right, of receipt to coaching.education@jff.live, right? And that is the banking information with the beneficiary name, the beneficiary address, the beneficiary bank, the bank's address, the account number, and the SWIFT address. All right. Oh, somebody say I'm going too fast. All right. So I'm going to, sorry. I didn't realize, formula. Somebody saying that if we can't trust a course. I don't think so, Leo. I don't think I can. All right, so formula saying we're going, all right, so I'm going to go back over that for you. All right. I'm going to also show you some other information. Send the email again. All right. I am not sure what you're talking about, unseen, Unseen. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to highlight you on I'm going to come back to that document that we need to fill out if you want to do the course. Now, I want to show you where the courses are and what the courses entails. All right. So let me go to share screen again and bring that up, and then you can see if any of these location. Okay, so let me see if I can make this bigger for you. Hopefully you're seeing it. So that is, this is the D license. This is the date, the parish, the instruction period, because each course has 2 instruction periods and 1 assessment period. Okay, send the email again. I'm going to go back over that, right? So the first set of parishes where the courses will be held. And remember, you can register in any parish at all. Any parish you want to, you can. I know right now there are spaces in St. Catherine, right? There are spaces in St. Catherine. The instruction period phase 1 will be in St. Catherine, St. James, and Portland, will be held January 15th and 16th. Very important. January 15th and 16th. The instruction period 2 in St. Catherine will be January 23rd and 22nd. And the assessment period will be January 29th. This is when now you get to implement what you have learned so that you can be evaluated. This is the, so for this, right, I think Formula trying to find out if this is, this is actually the D license, the D license. So you want to know if it is a CONCACAF D license or right. So this is called a JFF D license. But remember how this licensing program works is that you remember when Mr. Peart was here, one of the things he said is that the idea is to get whatever license you have, when you have the equivalent to what is used in the other Caribbean and CONCACAF nations, is that you can go across the Caribbean, go across the go across CONCACAF, which would include North America, South America, North America and Central America and the Caribbean. So the license from the C license up, it covers the same material in the Caribbean and in the Caribbean in CFU. All right. But he did say that part of the plan is to get it where it can go across CONCACAF, because it is called a JFF D license, but it is administrated by CONCACAF official and approved by CONCACAF. All right. So you can see the dates are St. Catherine, St. James, and Portland are the same. Then you have Manchester, CASAFA, and St. Elizabeth, the 19th and the 20th for instruction period 1, and then the 26th and the 27th for instruction period 2, and then March 5th will be the time for the evaluation or the assessment. All right. The cost for the course for the D license is 30,000 Jamaican dollars. And I think, remember, that includes lunch. Right? And that's, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And I guess the assessment day is up to you. You have to provide for yourself that day. So I think it's pretty inexpensive, in my opinion, for the D license. And remember, if you have an advanced level 2, you don't need to do the D license. All right, we're going to get into that a little later. Now, so you have Manchester, the next set of parishes. The second set of parishes would be Manchester, CASAFA, and St. Elizabeth. Now, after that, at the same time, you notice that the Westmoreland, St. Mary, and St. Thomas, their instruction period 1 and 2 will be similar to that of Manchester, CASAFA, and St. Elizabeth, but their assessment date is April the 2nd. Oh, what lunch included? Family is asking what lunch included. Boy, family, if I know, I would tell you that. I would be able to tell you that. Yeah. So is there a difference between the JFF and CONCACAF license? No, because what happened though is that it is CONCACAF basically approved the licensing, right? But for now, like the D license would only permit you to operate in Jamaica. but it is CONCACAF approved until you'd say like CONCACAF open up the marketplace, just like how quote unquote CARICOM is free movements of goods and services. Yeah. But very good question. Very good question, Claudia. Right? The next set of assessment will be for Clarendon, Hanover, and Trelawney. And that's all the way in May, the 7th and the 8th of May, the 14th, the 15th, and the assessment the 22nd. And then you have a next set in June, and they will be doing St. Anne in this one, St. James again, Manchester again, and Casafa again. Remember, they will tell you that they have limited spaces, and it is a limited spaces, and it is a first come, first serve basis. All right, so please bear that in mind. All right, please bear that in mind. First come, first serve basis. All right, all right. Remember, it has to be called. It is all right. So I'm unseen. When it turned JFF D license, I thought it was CONCACAF D license. It is a CONCACAF approved license, but it is being done in Jamaica. So it has to be the JFF. Yeah, that's what you're going to see, but it is CONCACAF approved. That's what I'm saying, bro. Come on, man. Family, you like me. Why does not jeez. Sorry, family. Unseen, cause unseen sports TV. You make me mixing up all family. I think. Unseen sports TV. Don't make the thing difficult, man. It is approved by CONCACAF. That's what I said. All right, unseen. All right, so let me show you the pyramid, and then I'm going to come back to that application form that you're supposed to fill out. All right. So let's stop and then share screen again. All right. All right, can you see this clearly? I hope you can. All right. So like I said, whatever license people have now, they will be able to use. But come 2025, the ball game is going to change. The ball game is going to change. To operate at a certain level of coaching, you're going to have a certain level of certification. All right? Very, very important note. To operate at a certain level, you're going to have a certain level of certification. All right? So it says figure 1 is the coaching pathway highlighting license that will be required to operate at various levels of football by 2025. Coaches who hold the JFF Advanced Level 1 or Advanced Level 2 will enter the pyramid by undertaking the C license. That means if you already have level 1 and level 2, you get an exemption from the D license. You are able to sit the C license course. All right. The C license, well, let's start with you notice in this diagram, it says the JFFD license because that's the lowest level to operate in Jamaica. But the others, the C, the B, and the A, and the Pro, they are CONCACAF based and allows you to move across CONCACAF and operate in these capacities in the tier per se that the license is appropriate. So D license is youth grass roots. If you have a D license, by 2025, you'll be only able to coach youth grassroots. Get your license together, people. Come on. You have to get your license. Get your license in order. Or else you probably won't be allowed to coach. All right? The C license right, allows you to do parish competitions and adult grassroots. Right. So youth grassroots is just kids. Grassroots. So you can use that to run a youth academy. But if you want to be involved in parish competitions and adult grassroots, then you're going to have C license. This is where now you do like your business house and your corner league and stuff like that. All right? No, grassroots is not just youth. Because like corner league football is grassroots football, but it's adult grassroots. Business house is considered grassroots football as well. Making sense? Right. Like things like business and other forms of football that has no. Right. There you go, man of steel. There you go. Exactly. Then you have your B license, elite youth and tier 2 coaches. Tier 2 is where you have like your major league, your super league. So remember that the whole idea is to have a tier 1, which would be the top league, and tier 2 will be like the league that gets you promoted to your tier 1, which is the top league in the country. So it's like some parishes call it super league, some call it major league, whatever it is. That is where, and your elite youth, meaning your schoolboy teams. No, all right. Unseen is asking a very good question. Unseen, remember by 2025 to operate in the Premier League level at any level, it tells you that you're gonna need a B license. By 2025. Yeah. Even if you're an assistant. Remember I told you about the goalkeeper coaches who had to do their C license and physical trainers. Then you have the A license, which is your national coaches and at the professional level. The professional level is your Premier League level. So that is how the pyramid is, and then the pro license is your national coaches. Listen, the good thing is that, at least there's some vision. You understand me? At least we're seeing some steps being taken in the right direction to get some, because for a long time, many of us we have been saying that we need better coaches in the system, and the coaches need to go through this systematic learning kind of phase where the same principles are being taught, because it's teaching the principles. And if you can get everyone teaching the principles, yeah, then it yeah, then that's good. Yeah, I see this. Brian is saying, no one's seen you need a C license to be an assistant in the Premier League. No, that's why they offer the C license to all Premier League. There you go. Yeah. Well, I said that, hey, Brian, I don't know where you come on and you hear that, and unseen on and him don't hear that. And unseen have some selective hearing over there. We need a lot of coaches in the grassroots program. Definitely. Definitely. And I think any sort of upgrading of the coaches will be a good thing. But remember as well that there are some of the other coaches who, like the Jackie Walters and the like the Liebert Halliman, the Bradley Stewart. A lot of these guys have many coaching certification from all over the world. So some of them will be exempt from many of these courses, because I mean they are the older coaches in Jamaica. I think this is for the younger generation of coaches coming through the system, so we can have this. I don't think when Mr. Peart was on, he did indicate that the older coaches will serve a different purpose. Yeah. I am sure that all of the Premier League assistant coaches don't have the C license. Unseen. Uh, all right, unseen. Let me help you. You need to listen. At the top of the pyramid, it says the vision for 2025. It is impossible, unseen, for everybody to have it because they only had the one course. So that is why, unseen, they are having the courses now. They're starting with the D, but they are going to run the C to get everybody up to speed. Oh, which one formula? Which question is that? Let me see if I can find this question. Oh, so we're the next C. All right, so I'm going to. Oh, um, So when are the next C license courses taking place? So I have a message with that. All right, so let me just read that for you, so I can give everybody that who wants to hear about the C license courses. So if you have advanced level 1, level 2, and you say that, you know what, I'm ready to jump up to the C level, let me tell you where and when that is going to take place. All right, let me see. I don't think there's a set date. Let me tell you the information that I have. It says right, so it said this is the schedule for the D license, the entry course. Spaces for St. Catherine edition is still open. Anyone interested in that one can send me an email. So if any of you are interested in going to the D license course in St. Catherine, there are spaces still open right there. So yeah, I can give you some information so you can jump on. All right. Now remember now that this is a JFF, the D license, because it's the lowest level. The C and the B license are CONCACAF, what you'd call certified, meaning this is what now qualifies you. So if you have a B license, you can go to other places in CONCACAF, right? It says for the CONCACAF C and B license, we are finalizing a schedule with CONCACAF and will make it available to the public once confirmed. Once confirmed, all right? So once they confirm it, formula, they will definitely let you know. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's the pyramid. I think it's, like I say, it's a step in the right direction. I think it's a step in the right direction. a very good move to get the coaches, like I said, to get the coaches up to speed, learning the same principles of the game, to pass on that information to our young men and and the young women. Do they get the people who get the people who get exempt from the D license are the people who have advanced level 1 and advanced level 2. All right. So Formula, I hope I answered your question. So I know some of you were saying that I went through the first document, the application form. I went um, through it too quickly, so we're going to go back through that. But any other questions you have concerning this? Like I said, I believe that this is a step in the right direction. Improve the coaches, improve the surfaces, then you'll see gradual improvement in the quality of football being played. All right. Very important question. Very important question. I like this question because this is a this is a very important question. I think I remember when Mr. Peart was on. I remember when big up Gunners boss with the super chat. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you. Just shouting up the host and viewers. Great content, information. Keep it coming. Appreciate it. People, you know how it is when the super chats roll in. We put them on the screen and sing, and thank the person. So thank you so much, Gunners boss. Yeah. But big up Cataract in the building. But I think this question is very important. The issue with that though, remember that if you look at I wonder which person who has been listening and seeing how the courses are can tell what would be the problem if the course was offered online. CC, he said, don't end the stream. CC, have a drop a super chat from me keep the stream going. You have a drop a, yeah, man, all right? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That is the answer. It can't be done online because there's a assessment that has to be done in person. So I don't know how that would work. I suppose depending on the level that you're at, um, depending on the level that you're at, you'd have to make preparation. Yeah, you'd have to make preparation to come in because there's an assessment. Once you do the 2 weekend of the course, there is an assessment that needs to be done. And I think that would pose the problem. Patrick, so that's it. There's a part of it that, like I said, will be done online. Yeah, field work. Yeah, the field work. Yeah. Yeah, two components. There you go. Two components, the practical and the theory. And it's going to be hard. So I guess persons in the diaspora who probably have to look at the courses and say, see if you could, book some time to come and do it. And then see if when the time when you come, if maybe there are ways for them to make special provisions so your course is done over 1 weekend. That way you don't have to go and come back to yeah, to do your assessment. But I'm wondering, what about, one of the things I need to, and I figure that you're gonna have to get some youngsters to basically do the practical part. I suspect if you're a coach, you must be coaching people. I'm wondering, what about that young person who I guess he could get some primary school kids, or some kids in his community. I guess it can work. I was just wondering, people, like, what if I don't coach a team? How am I going to be assessed? Because sometimes the players that you use, because if you get some novices to try and teach transition, because transition at the C license level, I think you have to learn, teach players how to play in transition, or the B license. If you have some novices to the game, that may cause you to fail if they cannot execute that which you are coaching. So part of what you have to also look at when you're going to do the course and help you to pass is to find people who can comprehend the information you're going to coach them and execute it so you can pass your assessment. Very, very, very important. You understand me, right, Coach Means? You can imagine if somebody a coach to see if you can pass, to be like, I don't know how they do it in track and field. But imagine, like, you're a level one, and you're getting some person to do hurdles, and you're coaching them, and then them assessing you, and the person keep hitting over the hurdles. You're gonna fail. Not because you're a bad coach, but because the people who you have are not able to execute that. So you have to make sure you get players that understand the principles of defending. So, because remember now, you only have 2 weekends. It's not like you're gonna have these people to to be coaching for 6 months. You know, management, they usually invite players at a certain level, like the national youth or some Premier League players. Yeah, that's what they do. But remember now, these are in regions. So that's what I'm wondering. These are in regions. This is not at the JFF coach schooling or the JFF facility. This is like in regions. So when it's in regions, no, remember, they are coming to assess you. They are sending the assessor to where you are at. It's different now. Normally, you'd get all the coaches and they get the players in different areas of the field. No, it's different. They are coming to where you're at. Um, Three coaches that failed the B, no assess, and good to go. Oh, they are good to go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Because one is a big man income coach, Me glad, me glad they them pass, because yeah, I know one is in the one is in the semifinals. Yeah, so I am glad, because like even that I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand Coach Minzy. I was saying that, nah, man, something must wrong. This man can't feel. This man too bright. I mean, I didn't go to see him school, Yes, to go to see him school. So I don't understand how he feel it, but I'm glad to know that they were assessed. 'Cause I keep saying feel. I think what happened is that the people who they had were not able to execute the things that they were trying to get them to do. And so they never get through with their assessment. So now that they have been reassessed, they are good to go. So 8B licensed coaches, congratulations. Yeah, yeah, man. So there you go. I mean, Coach Minzy, okay, you have the form, yeah. And if you, I have the forms as well. I have, yeah, man, I have the forms. So if any of you need the forms, I'm going to bring it up on the screen again, so you can see it. All right. Um, Patrick Reed says, "What if you could set up your practical from where you are? X drill and tactical work. You know what? Coach means you know about this. What if somebody is in, say, in Canada, but they plan to come back to Jamaica. They plan to come back to Jamaica, right? How would that work? And they said that, listen, I want to do my practical via Zoom. Could that work? I think I need to. I need. Patrick, very good question. I will need to, and you say via Zoom. I will need to find this out and get back to you on it. I don't know if Coach Minzy has any information on that. But I know it is not an option right now because the course is not offered online. You know, yeah, I would hope that they would probably have the facilities, probably at the pro and the A levels, but I don't think they would have it at the D and the C level. Yeah, management, do you have the venue where the coaching courses will be at in St. Catherine? All right, Unseen, you have to listen. Unseen, if you want to go to the course, I'll tell you in St. Catherine, I will. They said, fill out the form, email it to them, and then they will tell you. Say that I will put up the email address. I'm gonna give you an email address. Um, yeah, you see, that's why they feel Coach Minzy. Yeah, yeah. So in all now, right, we have 27 in. So you add, it was 24. You added these three, or it was 19, and you added the 8. The book now refer to some of these coaches as assemblers. Yeah, well, you know what? They can't just assemble anymore. They can't assemble anymore. They have to actually coach now. They have to be able, because coaching is not just having the information, Because everybody can have information, right? So here's what happened. It is, are you able to communicate the information you have so that the hearers of it can execute what you are communicating? That is the big deal. The assessors will have to make that call. This is a global world, so shouldn't be an issue for forward thinkers. Yeah, yeah, okay. And it was 24, then 3, so now it's 27 B license coaches. So we should have enough coaches to coach with the B license in the Premier League, at least for now. But like I say, it's an ongoing project. It's a step in the right direction. But I'm going to show you the form again. Yeah, I'm going to show you the form again that you need to fill out and then give you. uh, who are the moderators for this coaching? Hold on, let me get this one first. When are the courses on football administration? Hey, that's a very good one, Stan Cranky. Here's what we need to do. We need to put together a committee and offer the courses. It's a good business move, and call it the Cranks. Who are the moderators? Are the facilitators. The facilitators of this coaching course is Vassal Reynolds, Meron Garden, Andrew Peart, Rudolph Speed, and Wendell Downswell. But they also have Anton Cornell from Trinidad and Tobago, who is normally here. Then there's normally a representative from CONCACAF who is here overseeing what the Jamaican administrators or facilitators of the course doing. All right, so let us go back through the application form again. And for any of you who need this information, you can check Coach Minzy. You can I also have it, and it wouldn't be a problem to get it to you if you're interested. All right. So there you go. So this is the instruction. It's very simple. The email address is coaching.education@JFF Live. So that's where you would email the complete form. The form is 4 pages. 4 pages, right? 4 pages. See if I can get it a little bigger for you. Yeah. Four pages. All right. So, yeah. All right. Very easy. Your surname, your first name, middle initial, date of birth, your gender, TRN number, your ID being used, email address, phone number, employer number, work address. Please list your educational background. The institution that you attended, the year you attended, whether you have a diploma, a degree, or anything else. Your plain experience, school or club, and the year that you represented that school or club. Hold on a sec, people. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Basic information to fill out in the form. Yeah. Yeah. So basic stuff. So that's, yeah, like I said, it's basic stuff to fill out the form, right? So I think most of us, so that's like page 2 of the form, the institution, because you get exemption for your years. Then the registration form continues. If you have participated in any course, suppose you have done some stuff in Canada, in the Caribbean, in Europe, you could indicate those, and then based on what you do, you'll get exemption, next of kin. This is the important part, right? $30,000, right? You're getting a shirt as well. You're small, medium, large, extra large, extra large. You understand me? And then the banking details will follow. So it's basic stuff. Yeah, basic stuff. Given that Paul Hall has a license, was he also there as an observer? No, for none of these, Paul Hall was here. Because remember, Paul Hall got the job after these courses were completed. Yeah. All right. Why the JFF can't sponsor the attendees? All right, Cranky. Here's why. Because the attendees are going to earn money for themselves. Like when I get a coaching license, is like getting my my license to practice law. I'm going to use that to earn, so I need to pay to get it. I think it would be a very noble idea for that to happen. But I think there are persons. I think this is where some well-thinking Jamaican can step in and say, hey, you know what? You know, um, who are the teachers at my who are some of the coaches at my school or the coaches in my community? Hey, let me give you $300. Go and sign up for that JFF course. Let me give you a 300 US. Go and sign up. Let me give you um £150. Go and sign up and do that course and to help the school or help that little basic school, that little primary school, that little maybe that's something that could be done. But the person who is actually getting the when you get your license, you're not obligated to work for the JFF. It's just a license to operate in Jamaica to earn money and create a livelihood for yourself. So I think you should pay for it still. I think the individuals should pay for it. I don't know what others think. Unless they plan on working for the JFF free, then I don't know. But the problem now is there is going to be any stipulation by JFF and administrator to pay these coaches properly. No, you can't stipulate salary, That's that's not good. You have to know your worth, right? So you go to a school and you have your B license. You have to come like just like a teacher. You are a doctor or a carpenter or with any trade. The government can stipulate that people pay you this amount. You understand me? So I think the market should determine how much you get, because you may think you're supposed to get, as an example, 80,000. An ex coach with a B license going to say that it's 10 title me you win. I'm supposed to get 800. So you have to kind of leverage your own experience and your degree to, yeah, that's what I think that has to be left up to the marketplace. Joe Deck says, I think past national players with over 85 caps automatic qualifies automatic for some of these badges. I hear you. I hear you. I feel you. But there are two ways to look at this, because not all good footballers are good coaches. And sometimes some of the persons who play sport, just like in any other field, are not able to communicate what's in their head so that the person hearing it can comprehend it to execute it. What they have done is said that, listen, if you're a national player, you get exempt from D. You can come in at C, and we are willing, because they have said this, they have said that we are willing to even see how much you know, because you could actually get up to the B. But there are some C stuff that we would want you to know to just make sure. Because remember, a player may not know about the nutrition in sports. Remember, football is, I think one of my guests, I don't remember, maybe uh, Christopher Morgan, who said the four pillars: mental, physical, technical, and tactical. A footballer may know all the technical skills and the physical skills, but he may not know the mental stuff or the physical stuff that includes the health and the welfare of the players. So you may get exemption from certain things, but you still have to sit certain things at the C level so you can matriculate faster than other people to the B level. I think Mr. Peart also um, suggested that as well. We need a coach's salary cap. I don't we need a coach's salary cap. I don't know. How How do you determine? You can't. I don't like this salary cap idea for professionals. Should we have a medical, like a salary cap for doctors, a salary cap for teachers? Is there a salary cap for carpenters? Is there a salary cap for bus drivers? Is there a salary cap for, you understand me, cashiers, for tellers? I don't think we need to put any salary cap on no coach. Man knows what he's worth. If you can't pay him, you can't pay him. If a man want to work for $10, him go work for it. The next man may believe that my value is $50,000, and if I'm not getting 50,000, I won't take the job. And unseen sport. Let me say it again. You have to begin to think professional. In this place, you have to set your own minimum standard. And don't listen. If it's below what you want, you don't have to do the job. Get the next one. Look at next one. Remember, time is coming, you know. If you have your C license, your B license, you can go to Barbados. It's CARICOM. You can go to Cayman. You can go to all of those other places. You can go to St. Vincent. But I don't believe the system. I don't believe the system. Listen. All right, so some of the things that I do that people compensate me for. Other people charge way less than me, but I know what I offer. You understand me? So when you ask me to provide the kind of service that I provide, I tell you what my fee is. And if you can't afford it, that's it. I can use my discretion. I say you somebody else. Yeah. True management, you must know if a school offer you $10 and you think you're worth $50, don't take the job. Simple as that. Yeah, simple as that. Because if you believe you're worth $1 million and somebody pay $10 and you take the job, you have no complaint. I don't know what is the minimum wage, people. I don't know, you know. I don't know. I don't pay people minimum wage, and I don't receive minimum wage. So I don't know. Anybody knows the minimum wage? There is, listen, people, let me say it again. Professionals don't operate with minimum wage. Remember that there is no minimum wage for doctors. So a doctor is not paid based on what the minimum wage is. A teacher is not paid based on what the minimum wage is. My point is, you are becoming a professional. Just like a person has a medical degree, a law degree, and that makes him a professional. Here is it. Here's what you have to do. You have to know your worth. Some people believe that they can only work in one place. Listen, there are schools in Hanover, schools in St. Elizabeth, in St. Mary. Go and come out the parish that you're in. Expand your boundaries. And don't be trapped in your little bubble and think like because you go to that school and they want to give you that. There are other schools. There are other schools. But some coaches only want certain schools because they want a certain, you know, yeah, it's a quick way to success, man. All you need to do sometimes is not to win a competition, is to be teaching the right things, teaching the right principles and developing players. And you get your money in your pocket. What you're due. You have to do that. Minimum age to apply for the coaching license. All right, that's a very good question. What is the minimum wage? Yeah, the minimum wage. No, the minimum age. The minimum age. I think they had said I think it was 25. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out before I make any. I don't think there is an age barrier. I think over a certain age, you don't get to do it because of the physical stuff that you have to do. But I don't know that there's a minimum age. But I'm going to check. I think there's a. I'm going to check. Give me a sec. I'm going to check. Some professions have pay scales. Yeah, that's a different thing. But the pay scale is not necessarily a minimum wage. The minimum when we speak of minimum wage, I understand that because in my profession and in my organization, there is a pay scale for people who are in administration, for people who are in, you understand me, there is that. But that has nothing to do with what the national minimum wage is. So let me check and find out some things for you. Let me get some information. One, what about persons who want to do the courses online? And two, is there a minimum age to apply? All right. So let me find that out. All right. All right. So the age is 16. You have to be 16 and up. That is the age. And there is no online. The courses are offered by rule, not by the federation, but by how CONCACAF conducts it. In person, it has to be. So those are the two answers. Karum says every profession has a minimum entry level compensation, and their compensation earning power increases over time based on the competence, expertise developed over time. Okay. Every profession has a minimum entry level compensation. So, Karumi, what is the minimum entry level compensation for an engineer, a civil engineer? What is the minimum entry level for the plumber who is going to come to your yard to fix your pipe? For the tiler who is coming to tile your place? When that tiler comes to your house and say, I charge you $100,000, you either choose to do it or not. And if you tell him, say, you pay him $10, you can say you pay him $1. It is up to that tiler. when you're an independent contractor, it's a completely different thing than when you're going to work in an organization. You can't tell me nothing about this. This year one year, Karumi, you can't ride pan. You, you, this year one year, you can. When you come on pan this, talk to me about some other things. But this one, you're absolutely wrong. Or you're completely misguided on this one. Some other one you're probably winning. Yeah. There you go. Thank you so much, Mr. Cranky. You think anybody can come and tell Pep that listen, the entry level salary is $10, Pep? You don't get to tell no professional coach. You can't tell Mourinho that your entry level is that based on performance. You're a professional. You negotiate your contract because you're operating as an independent contractor. You're not aligned or affiliated to an organizational group or body. All right? Big up yourself. It's a good company, but not across the profession. Yeah, yeah. And Karumi has gone into the hey, per square foot. The man. Okay. All right. Yeah, so we charge the plumber. No, me no tell me about the tiler. Me tell me about the plumber. And I can tell you this. I can find 10 tilers, and all 10 tilers have a different charge per square foot. Karumi, just leave it alone, man. Karumi, leave it alone, man. Nobody do that to yourself, man. Nobody do that to yourself. But again, I must say, in terms of this is a step in the right direction. This is a step in the right direction. I like the feel of it. I like where it's going because is there a fee for the seminar and who are the coaches that coach the coaches? All right. So the fee is 30,000 Jamaican dollars. And that's what I'm saying, that if you're going to be certified now to go and coach primary schools and all of those things, listen, remember now, if you get a primary school job, you can say to the principal, listen, 30,000 a month you want. That's just, you cover your course. Your first month's salary cover your course. $30,000 for the D license course. The instructors are whomever the representative is from CONCACAF. We don't know who that is. We don't know who that is. All right. But in terms of the Jamaican, there's Rudolph Speed, Andrew Peart, Wendell Downswell, Meron Garden, and Vassal Reynolds. Those are the persons. All right. And so over time, there will be different persons who I think will be added because coaches are continually being qualified in this capacity or in this capacity. So yeah, but I think, like I said, it's a step in the right direction. This man him just won't I won't even. Karumi, you know the first thing I said was a plumber, and then I said a tiler. I said a civil engineer, and you chose to use tiler. So don't come on here and try to be that. I ain't moving. You're moving the goalpost, and you need, Bridget. When you do this, you embarrass yourself because even when people are telling you that you're wrong, you're still continuing. Just stop, no man. Come on, no man. Yeah. A tiler can charge a fee rate per square foot, but she usually charges a rate that is comparable to other tilers. You see, you're not making sense. So I am going to charge a rate that is comparable to other coaches. So I'm going to charge a rate that is comparable to Pep Guardiola. And I'm telling you that you're still wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a generation of people now who, when it comes on to some of these skills, they actually have gone to university. Back in the days, a lot of persons who used to do some of these, like plumbing, a person who'd grow up. Yeah, yeah. You know what? True, cranky. Karum, you know what? Yeah, man. You're right, you're right, Hey, Karum, you're right, you're right. You win, you win. Yeah, man, you win. I concede. You win. You win. Yeah, yeah. But I think so, and I'd love to know how Paul Hall can get involved in this process. And also, when you watch the John Barnes interview on that he did on Talawa TV recently, John Barnes even alluded to wanting to he would love to get the opportunity, and he was talking about even the team right now, that he'd love to get the opportunity to work with the national program. What is funny is that he has one of the best records, because I think he had like 11 games, 7 wins, and 4 drawn games. So he never really actually lost a game. He won the Caribbean Cup. Maybe that's a small sample size to use. But I've said this, that I think, and this is just my opinion, my opinion. It is not based on you know a lot of facts, but just what I see is, I think, if John Barnes were to come in, for example, I'd say, listen, you are responsible for the senior national team. All right. And then what I would do is let Paul Hall like control everything from under 23 down. Like that would be his portfolio, because I know that he will do a good job with the senior team now, but I just see him as someone that I would trust with a 15-year-old to bring them through the ranks. Like, and that's where I'd want to see him dedicate most of his time. But I feel like if he is in charge of the senior team, then we are not going to capitalize on what I believe is his strength, which is working with youth. That's my thought. I don't know. I'd love to hear what some of you think on that, but that's where I'd love to see him plugged into the national system. But can we, I'd love the JFF to reach out to John Barnes, right? Um, yeah, Cranky. Listen, jump on and tell me, what are your thoughts on this? Would you do you like that idea? The idea of, you know, Paul Hall probably just taking over youth development in Jamaica. And John Barnes, heading the national team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts? Yeah, somebody said I agree. Yeah, that's what I've always. Yeah, yeah. There we are getting some agreement. I've always felt like that. I feel like the best. I don't know. I just have this idea, and I kind of see that in the squad that has been selected. Like, I feel like he's better with youth. All right, I don't even want to say better. I think he can get more out of youth than other persons affiliated with the program, right? So, with that being said, yeah, I think so, Stefan, right? I think if if we can get John Barnes and let his sole focus be national team, meaning no, that would mean that he has more freedom to be looking all across the world to find Jamaicans, while Paul Hall is there, building youth football, helping to establish, if not physical academy, but academy kind of setup across the Jamaica, dealing with finding the best coaches that suits what he wants at at the highest level, be getting those kind of coaches into systems. I think that's where Paul Hall would suit Jamaica's football the best, going forward, and then we put someone else. Why we think Paul Hall is good at youth development, though, I am not sure if that is. My understanding is that he has always worked with the youth, in that capacity at his club. Is it Queen's Park Rangers? I think that's where he has primarily been engaged. He may not be the head of youth development. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know. Karumi, when we are trying to embarrass yourself, man, Lord, Bridget. All right, so people, I don't know. Maybe this man come on today like him. Maybe him trolling. Me don't know. Maybe him just come on and him a talk because he want to talk. All right. Under 23 is an age group. It is not the age of players. All right. Let me give you an example. Karumi, you're a coach. You should know this. Come on, man. I mean, you're a very intelligent man, Honestly, I like when the people who I consider to be highly intellectual elevate the level of the discussion. So I'm going to use examples in Arsenal to debunk your theory. All right? Arsenal has Saka, who they call one of their youth players, Smith Rowe, one of their youth players, Eddie Nketiah, one of their youth players. Telling you, came through the ranks at Arsenal. All of these players are not yet under 23, but they were a part of the Arsenal under 23 team. Under 23 is an age group. It does not necessarily constitute that being the age of the players. So when Paul Hall is leading the under 23s, it doesn't mean that the players, he could have 16, 17, 18-year-old in there. That's how academy football is. They are still considered to be youth. You call them elite youth. In some places, they call them that. You're a coach, man. You know better than that, man. Come on, man. Lift the level of the discussion, man.
My name's man.
Maybe I'm losing.
Oh, you like arguing people some when it's that word? Yeah. Why am I tell you star? Something just leave alone, man. Karumi, you're right, Karumi. Let's move to another topic. The man explains, Karumi. And Karumi, that typical Jamaican now. Your mindset, you're sure you're right, and nothing can change you. No logic, no lyrics, no facts. Because you in your little world, your little zone, you're locked in, and nah change. So Karumi, and a man is man, the way I just does is, you're right, I apologize. If you argue with the man, that means you're just as bad. Right. I hate to say, Karumi, we love your brethren, but you have to change or you take my word. Man, explain to them, man. I even give you example of independent contractor and how that works. You negotiate your own contract, your own terms, your own comp. You don't want to hear it. You talk about people who start at a certain place. We all start at the bottom, Karumi, and work our way up. doesn't mean there's minimum compensation. In companies, they may have different levels, and at a certain level, that's where you get paid. And even then, you may get a bonus, which they differentiate you based on performance. I don't know why you're arguing, man. You're just as bad. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
But what do you think, though? I mean, you know, if seeing that John Barnes is, you know, suggested that you'd be willing to come back and work with, you know, do you think there's a way the system could be to have like a John Barnes and a Paul Hall, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to work for free, right? So part of the problem, management is all these individuals want to come in. They may want to be compensated. Do you have the resources to compensate them? You could create a structure where all these individuals have a role, but they're also coming from industrialized countries where the compensation level is much higher. And Jamaica doesn't have the resources to compensate them. So how is that going to work? Are they going to do it pro bono? Or are they going to do it, you know, at very reduced compensation? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, because
but he has the profile, he has the knowledge, he has the relationships to help the program. As you hear me in the comment section, which is more around, if we really want to change the football and Paul Hall really want a job, then he has to ingratiate himself, get himself involved, be all into the program, inclusive of, you know what are the key components we need? First of all, what's the strategy? How we deploy the strategy? And how do I inform that strategy as Paul Hall? And how do I make sure what I'm doing is long-lasting, it's going to change the football fundamentally, change how we operate, and help the football progress? Because we shouldn't say the football hasn't progressed, because that's not true, because we export a lot of players, but not at the speed and at the level that we desire.
Yeah. Because I am thinking, like, all right, going ahead, are we going to take Paul Hall? Can we afford Paul Hall full time? As a national,
that's a great. I'm not sure Paul Hall can even answer that question himself. Which is something, you know, management. You want the job. Some you want a job management. You even will say, "I will do anything." You know how well qualified you are. You know the job doesn't satisfy you. We just want the work. But the problem is when you get the work, what happens after that?
Yeah.
So now he has gotten the job, well, on a temporary basis. If his performance suggests he's getting a full-time basis, maybe what you're looking for, look, if you get us to the World Cup, we'll have money to pay you, at least for a little while, at least maybe a year or a couple of years. If you don't get us to the World Cup, you got to go. We can't afford you.
Yeah, and that to me would be like the unfortunate thing, because I think going ahead, I see him as an asset. Like I said, even if it is not at the senior level, even if the team doesn't qualify, given where we're at and we don't qualify, I could, just the way he speaks, his qualification says to me that outside of just coming to coach a national team, he could play, like I said, an integral part by integrating himself in all the other areas of the football. Now, that may free up like John Barnes or someone else to just come in when the national team is about to, like, it's almost like a pay Paul Hall the salary, and then the senior coach who would work with comes in for the national team games, which would be less money than what the one who is dealing with the restructuring and the development of the football. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, like, I don't see Barnes being second to anybody in his profile.
No, he's the head coach.
Is he assistant Paul Hall? What's his role?
All right, somebody said, I think like, all right. So who is in charge at Edward Arteta? Let's use that.
Nobody's one of the technical director will go out and source talent, and he's giving the resources to get talent. They work in tandem. Arteta's job is to manage a team, tell the technical director where he thinks the deficiencies are or where he needs to enhance, and they work in tandem to go source those players. The only question is, when the technical director disagree with the coach, what happens in those instances? Because you may think we need to improve the midfield as a coach, and technical director think, no, the wing play is where we have challenge. Now, do you satisfy both? It's no different from when Emery was at Arsenal. He asked for Zaha, and they went and got Pepe. Right? So you'll have disagreement, and the question is, what does that mean? That's why some coaches leave sometime. because they can't have agreement.
I don't think this one would work. Yeah, I think this is what I said, Cracky. This would
No,
work.
I see the other way around, actually. I see the other way around, with Barnes having a much bigger profile than Paul. Paul leveraging Barnes' experience, his know-how, his knowledge, his playing ability, because Barnes accomplished a lot as a player and is well quoted in different medias throughout the UK, frankly, and his football knowledge.
When there's a director of football, right? Is he above the senior coach? That's what I need to figure out how the structure works.
In some organizations, it depends on what the role is, because you may have the ability to fire the coach, for example.
The director of
football. It all depends on what how you define the role of the person.
Yeah. Because if Paul Hall could be the director of football, but it's from but John Barnes is the head coach for the senior team.
I think Paul Hall want to be the coach for the senior team. Look, the coach is the one who gets all the notoriety in the management. Who talking on director? You hear about Eddie once in a while in that background. All is Arteta 24/7. So if I think I know Barnes a little bit, just from afar, he wants that visibility and that notoriety. The optics are about him. Now, the director is in the background. You hear Eddie mention once in a while.
You know what? That's what Paul Hall does. That's what I'm thinking. Like, until this job, and this is like the first time he's coming on the scene. He's normally in the background, and he's known for what he does in the background. So
yeah, but management, when you are of a different persuasion, or manage my words really well in the UK, you don't get a lot of opportunities to coach Premier League teams or even championship teams or even League One teams. There's very few of them. And the few we had, how many are there in the Premier League now, apart from Vieira at Crystal Palace? Isn't there only one I can recall?
Yeah, Vieira is the only one in the
and
league.
Vieira had the profile between working at Man City, coming to New York, working, going to the French League, and then go back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And even then, when he was hired, there was a lot of question about his qualifications for the job because he wasn't overly successful in the French League.
I just don't think Paul Hall can be the head coach because, I mean, if he's going to stay on after this, he has Nations League, right? You have goal, like, there are so many tournaments that when are you going to find time if you're not here in Jamaica to deal with the other aspect of the football that I think whoever is going to be in charge need to have some role in the rest of the football. Probably look at even how the league is done and sit down with the persons there to look at how the Premier League is operated. Is there a way that we can restructure it to get more out of it, to facilitate the program? What are we going to do with our, like, who is going to do that job? Who from the head coaching staff is going to do that? And maybe we need John Barnes to come in as a technical director.
Management, international coach have enough time for them, man. They're the one coach who have a lot of time on their hand. Think about it. So you may have 4 tournaments. How long do they last? How much preparation time? What do you do with all the time that you have? If you're the full-time national coach, you should be going around the island. You should be working with the JFF. You should be strategizing about what you need to do in a lot of different areas, a lot of different departments. You're the media personality. You're a coach. You're an instructor. You're a leader. You're a community even activist. You're a lot of different stuff. You wear a lot of hats, especially in Jamaica. Those hats get multiplied given the needs of the country and the needs of the organization.
But what I want to ask you, so the technical the coach, say let's use, I guess Gareth Southgate is not the best example because we always see him around at watching games.
Right.
What do you really believe the Brazilian coach is doing right now?
I think he's probably...
And the Argentinian coach, who lives in Argentina.
So there's a difference, right? So in some countries, the structure is in place already, right? Well organized, well structured. He's focused probably on players. Who are the players what I need for my squad? He probably has his 23, probably only has 3 positions open. How do I get those positions? Who am I going to play? What's the playing style? Who are my next opponents? He's thinking about a lot of different things around the football. He's not worrying about the administrative side because that's what he's taken care of. The problem is we need our coach to be more than just a coach. You need to be an administrator. You need to be a manager. You need to be a bunch
you're talking in the Jamaican context.
Yes.
Okay.
In other countries, the structure is there. You're just there to manage a football team. You're not worried about the other stuff. It's taken care of. The money
Because I
part,
don't
the
think
sponsorship, the communication is all taken care of. They just tell you where to be and where you need to be there.
yeah, because I'm thinking, what could like the French coach be doing right now? He knows he's starting 11.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things they probably talk with their administration about.
These guys probably sit down that doing and watch a couple of games. They ain't doing anything. Like
Well, you're always sourcing new players, aren't you? You're always looking for your new players, your opponents, your possible opponents, where you're going, where you are. It depends also where you are in the cycle of the games, right? Or you made the World Cup, you gotta think about what am I gonna do when I go to the World Cup? How am I structure my team? Who are my players? Who do I see on the fringes? There's a lot of different things you gotta think about, man. Apart from just playing. I'm sure they had administrative stuff that they have to go through also.
That's what I'm wondering. You know what? I'd love to hear. I'm going to ask one of my senior reggae boys who normally talk to international coaches, like, what do they actually do in the lull?
So here's the thing. Extrapolate that. What did high school coach do when the high school season over?
In Jamaica?
Yeah.
Not a thing. They don't get, I don't think they get paid. I'm wondering, that's a very good question. I need to find out if they actually get paid in off season. I don't think they do. I think they get like contracts for like 6 months and stuff. Unless you're a teacher at the school, because some of them actually are trained teachers. So the school may employ them. And so, the teachers are paid by the Ministry of Education. But the coach is paid by either the Past Student Association or they from some other, the PTA or stuff like that. So maybe some of these coaches are coaching they are teachers at the school, because there are some coaches who are physical educational teachers, PE teachers, and they get paid in that way, right?
Right.
But when it comes down to the coaching part of it, the school normally generate, because the Ministry of Education does not provide money for that. The school finds a way of paying them. So maybe the past student covers that. So they may do it for the duration of the season. Like say, okay, 6 months, we're giving you a 6-month contract, we'll pay you for 6 months, and then you have to find.
Out of the school have extra money in their budget someplace to to satisfy certain expenses. So they do it through that means.
Horatio Brown is saying Paul Hall did say Queen's Park was willing to support him every way. That don't mean giving him money to work.
I didn't know they were in the charity business.
Yeah.
I know Fernandez has money, or he used to have money. I think he lost a lot of his money, but I'm not sure he had that much money to be paid coach in another country.
Yeah, I don't think.
What's the benefit they get out of it? What's the benefit QPR getting?
That's for him.
I mean, it makes some visibility, right? Okay, if you have a national, that's people don't understand sometimes, If you see a coach Jamaica, then that get pronounced in different environment, right? Just like when they mention pinup, they say Jamaica International. I always tell the people in Jamaica, which is the name Jamaica get to be in the media by just the players who represent us.
Paper plate said we should ask Tapper.
I don't leave Tapper alone, man. Tapper, nobody's beating sticking on.
Oh, Karoom, if you're still here, what happens? PE teachers get paid. Yeah, because PE teachers are hired by the Ministry of Education. But I think what Chris Elliott is saying is that these coaches may continue coaching throughout the year. They coach academy players, they coach under 16, and they coach like the under 14. So they may end up coaching for the entire school year.
Yeah, but the football is played over one period. It's not played for the entire year.
Yeah,
they coach like cricket. They coach different sports sometimes.
Yeah, and then I think what happened, they only get, if they are not employed as teachers, they only get paid for the time of the competition. And you'll notice that a lot of the coaches, like the top coaches, they also coach other teams. Yeah. So like Lenny Hyde coaches Portmore and he coaches Clarendon. Philip Williams coaches Tivoli High and he coaches Tivoli in the league. Layla coaches at Cavaliers, but he also coaches at Calabar. Ludlow Bernard coaches at Casey, but he coaches at Harborview.
So here's the question, management. Because we're complaining that the players are not coached appropriately when they're in high school. All these coaches cross-pollinate, and they're coaching in national, they're coaching in the JFF and high school. What am I missing?
Yeah.
At least the players from those schools.
You know what is funny? Let me tell you what is funny. What is so funny, right? I hear the coaches in the Premier League saying that the players in the high school, they complain about the quality, and you just hit the nail on the head. It is the same. It is the same coaches. If you check the teams, it is the same coaches coaching. Like you check. All right. Somebody giving me some more names here. Andrew Peart was at UWE and at Glenmuir, right? Yeah, Jerome Waite, he was at Arnett Gardens at Charlie Smith. You check a lot of these coaches. They it's the same coaches. Just like Jerry Holness, someone is saying, this one is confirming that Queen QP are interested in Blake, so it's that the work of Paul Hall.
Can QPR play Blake? Blake make decent money now.
Is QPR a better option than?
They're doing well in the championship now. They've been down there for a few years now. They got relegated a number of years ago. They haven't come back up because they overspend so much. They're taking them years to dig out from the hole they got themselves in. But is it a better option than where he is? Well, you get more visibility in the Premier League. I mean, he's a little bit old in the tooth now. You're past 30, but goalkeepers can go for another 5-6 years.
Yeah, so he probably can go up until he's 37.
Yeah, if he goes there and he now put an extra weight.
Yeah, and they just sent out the Jamaican on loan as well. Dylan Barnes.
Yeah. He's not getting the playing time. So
this is funny because he's gone down to like the 5th year of English football.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. When I saw him, I thought he looked good after when we saw him. The game I saw him in. So I thought, even though we got destroyed, I thought he looked decent. But Blake should have moved already, actually.
Yeah.
They had this YouTube video on, there's thing on Facebook on Blake making saves. Phenomenal, actually. I mean, his feet, he can't use his feet at all. When he was playing football, he wanted to steal at the goal. But he knows how to stop the ball from going in.
I am wondering how is he going to survive in like
it's tough.
In England, not being able to use it, you know?
No, he's not good with his feet at all. His feet. I thought by now he would have gotten better, but it's learned behavior, and it's a challenge for him.
Yeah. Robert Sanchez says increased pay factors into better option too.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Robert, how far you got back to.
Hope it's not a Karumi discussion tonight. I would move a long time.
Yeah, but let me ask you, because Robert, let me ask you, the KC coach, the coach for the KC football team, do they get paid for the entire school year, or they just get paid for the football season, basically? No, we're not. Nobody's talking about Paul Hall being fired. We're just saying that what we believe is the best fit for him.
No. You sure you're gonna? You don't make those explosive statements, without having context.
Yeah. Stan, it's the emphasis on time they are not spending on the sport they are coaching. Jack of all trade.
I'm glad to see that we're going through a process in a much more structured environment of having our coaches certified. Certification doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach, but at least you're learning the fundamentals the right way, and someone has assessed you and determined that you have reached a stage where you have passed those fundamentals, you know how to apply them. And that's a good thing. I mean, my only concern, man, is I don't want to be coach. When we go school, I don't want to be teacher, I want a teacher.
Yeah.
We want to be people that come teach me, right? Because I became the best then. I want people who have been there, done it, acclaimed individuals, providing the guidance, so I can learn from the masters, not from the students. If you have a C license and a B license,
But here's the good news though.
Huh?
If they say all the coaches, right? Here's the good news. Say it by 2025, according to this thing, everything goes on track. By 2025, all the high schools would have coaches with the same level license. It don't mean they have the same coaching ability, the same level coaching ability.
No, and that's always going to be the case, right? Yeah, the point I'm making is this: is that I would love to have the best coaching you, so you're learning from the best. It's just like you have Pep coaching you. You want to learn from the best. You may not have the ability to do so, or the option. You may not have the opportunity to do so, just because those individuals may not be available. But that's what you aspire to have, right?
And that's a very tough thing, Cranky. I'm going to tell you why. Like, given the options, like I was saying to someone, I think like I would have wanted other options instead of Arteta. But I'm also happy that Arteta is at Arsenal with this group of players.
But here's the thing, man. So Arteta learned from supposedly the best. And he realized he knows what good looks like. There's always a statement. Do you know what good looks like? If you don't, no matter how much you learn, you can't apply what you need to apply. So what he has done, man, is coming and realize I don't have good enough players. I need a better structure. And you'll see the fruits of the labor down the road. It's not a one-off immediate solution. It's a long-term solution. The reason why I asked the question in the chat around Paul Hall was, is he there observing? So he has certain qualifications. He's been there, done that. Is he there observing what's being taught, assessing it, and providing input?
Yeah. I think Sanchez was explaining what he meant. He said, you're asking if Blake going to Queen's Park is better option. And you mentioned visibility. I'm saying he would probably be getting more money, and that would make it, a better option.
Well, he's making what? He's making about $600K a year at Philadelphia. That's not chump change. To translate into pound, it's what, about a dollar 1.3, somewhere around there. So, in the championship, it's still
think about the tax rate as well, Stan. I think Philadelphia is one of the smallest wage tax in the US, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the tax is a combination of federal and state, right?
No, but even so, it still is less than the tax that you might end up paying if you move to England.
Depends. So England, you pay 39% on the first 150K, and
after that you reach 39%, then you know I'm going no further. 39%.
Yeah, but here in the federal rate, if you're making 500K, you're paying about that actually. Now, when you go over a certain number, then it changes significantly. But in the US, you pay about 30% federal.
Any state?
Paying another 7-8%. That's about 38%.
I'm asking if that's any state, every state.
No. Florida don't pay tax. Texas don't pay tax.
That's why I'm saying to you that it's a basis on a combination of that. That's why I always tell people, depending on when you're moving, you have to factor a lot of those things in place. Yeah. For example, I remember when Radamel moved to Monaco, when he was the hottest thing on the market. But Monaco don't pay. I think you don't pay income tax, if I'm not wrong.
That's why Hamilton.
So you realize that with that you can go to Monaco, earn a piece of money, build up your family, build up your estate, and then you probably try back for a big move. And then look at Oscar. Oscar was at the peak of his game, as in Oscar is a very, very good player. Could be playing in any of the top teams at the time that he moved to China. But I guess he's saying that football is a short career, and you want to make the most because you're coming from a poor background.
Yeah. So, man. Oh, you were talking about man. Can't hear you. You're on your mute.
Sorry. No, man. I was saying, go ahead.
No, I was saying what you're talking about, which is around. I know we digressed the conversation a little bit around Blake and Dylan Barnes and all that, but we're mainly talking around Paul Hall, the national program. And how does he want the job to change the football in Jamaica? Does he just want the job for the national team?
Here you go.
And as you're saying, well, if you're the national team manager, what do you do when you're not coaching the national team? Which there may be a lot of blips throughout the year as to when that would not be the case. What else are you doing? Maybe you know what? You coaches desk, even Cataract, God help us, are now in the media. So if you're in the media, you should ask those questions.
Yeah.
Maybe uncomfortable. We should ask a question. What do you do when you're not coaching the team? Are you going around scouting? Are you going around providing advice? Are you communicating? Are you coach? Are you mentoring? Are you providing seminars? What are you doing?
Well, you know what is funny? So I brought up this comment, right? Because the same Jamie Ricketts said earlier that maybe it is Paul Hall's influence. Could be why Queen's Park is interested in in, in Blake. All right, but at the same time, a Jamaican national, Dylan Barnes, has been sent out at the same club that Paul Hall is at. So I mean,
I thought Paula was a QPR under 23. He's at Yoveltown?
no man, that's where he's gone now. But Dylan Barnes was at QPR and he was
Yes,
sent.
yes. It seems very coincidental, actually.
Yeah, I'm just saying, right? If you want to say maybe it's because of Paul Hall why there's an interest in Blake, then wouldn't he also have some influence in Dylan Barnes?
Or maybe you think Dylan Barnes need to go to Europe to get game time. It's all about game time, you know. Even your coach playing in the corner league, you're getting game time versus being on the bench. There's a big difference.
Okay. I think Pepe Paulie asking, how do you ready for the coaching courses? All right. So we had the application form. So if you we're gonna give you the number, right? And if you text the number, we will forward all the information to you right now so you can register for the coach, right? And all the information, we'll send you one WhatsApp message with all the information you need. So you can register for the course, Pepe Paul. So let's see. Yeah, there you go. So if you do that, then we'll do that. But let me get a couple. Listen, people, you see, I want you to understand, like, Claudia is the one female, no matter what time we are on, she's on, right? So I don't want anybody to rush her, you understand me? I'm going to defend the female. You understand me? But she's right though, that Blake isn't good with his feet. It doesn't say that he's not a good goalkeeper, because what Jamie is saying is that if he had a better defense, then he would be I'm not going back.
Jimmy, have you watched Blake with his feet? The last game he almost gave away a goal, didn't he? Take him in and try to be cute. You don't know what am I doing him foot them tie up. His feet are tied up.
But then again, man, the question, it begs to ask the question, does the MLS wants to sell Andre Blake?
Yeah,
like, CC, everybody wants to sell if the money is right.
If the money is right, yeah. But I mean, because remember, I think Andre Blake is a domestic player. So if it is that they sell Blake, then more than likely they would have to make up the roster with that go for an international player, which they have to pay to in order to fill an international spot, and they would love to have.
I didn't say he was a domestic player, so why would I fit in the international spot?
No, I'm saying to you that he's a domestic player, right?
Right.
But so, for example, he leaves and they're to get a next keeper. Is it that they have a domestic keeper that is good enough at this point in time?
That's their problem. That's not his problem.
But didn't they just sell Pepe to the Bundesliga?
What, Union?
No, it don't matter. It don't matter. It's still an MLS team. No, man. It's still an MLS team because all the players are owned by the MLS. So it don't matter which player.
Yeah, it's all Ricardo.
Pepe.
Yeah, the one who scored the goal for Jamaica.
Yeah, I don't think it means. Listen, at the end of the day, it's down to money. It don't.
It's all
that's
about
what
money.
It boils down to. Yeah.
It's down to money, money, but you have to understand, say, selling a player like Ricardo Pepe, it's a different thing in terms of youth and in terms of they can always remember, you can always make up for outfield players, but to replace a goalkeeper of Andre's standard, they might have to go for an international player.
CC, I hate to tell you this, CC, but it's all about the money. If the money is right, they will ship Blake out before you know. And plus, first of all, the player also has some say. You get a stadium big enough, you leave.
You know what is funny? I'm going to use the Junior Fleming example. You know that the team that Junior Fleming has gone to, they're second in League Two. meaning that if it ended now, this is a midpoint, right? Not only that, but they have scored the most goals.
Yeah, man, it's a very, very good team.
You know, so you understand, they brought Judah Flem. You're thinking like, you scored the most goal, you're second. Why would you bring Judah
Say
Fleming?
So is he gonna be on the bench? Like sometimes that's not a good move for him.
Yeah, I think he's going to start.
Hold on, for the money that they bought him for, you know.
He's going to start.
Remember that there is a record transfer from the USL.
How much did they pay for him?
They paid more than, they said it's over 500K US.
That's decent money for a USL player.
Yeah, man. But
it's a record.
It's the most expensive USL player ever.
But that's a Jamaica international, isn't it? I'm sure that goes a long way on the resume.
But Stan, Gunners boss is saying, thanks Stan, you bring some facts to the conversation. Me not leaving England to come work in Jamaica for free.
But I think with the Jonah Fleming situation, though, I think this is a very, very good move for him, given the fact that he's actually like 25. So he's moving at a point in time where he's about to he's about to enter the peak of his career. So he's moving.
That's how we know. I know about good agent. That's how we know.
Oh, the man, good man. The man, I think it's the man Ralph. I say that is his name. The guy who he used to play in. He was one of the guys who played in Russia.
The man Ralph. Yeah. Is Paul at present working on an interim plan? Is he working on an interim plan? Or is he
you're saying because he's an interim coach? He's just working on a plan.
Or do you mean if he's working, if his current contract is an interim coach?
Well, I think what he's basically saying is that does he have a plan for remaining 6 games? That's how I'm going to read it, right? Which is the job is it right? So that must be the question.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's an interim plan, but I'd want to believe that that he has some sort of plan for these set of games. Neo says, does Blake make endorsement money here in the US? Would he get endorsement in the UK? The taxes are a wash provided you get decent accountants. That's a good thing because the USA may offer more endorsement because you could get endorsement for drink and stuff. I don't know. I don't find like EPL have a lot of those things.
To be honest, Neo is
today, Frankie, because you probably know more about. Sorry, there, CC, and then I'll get back to you. Is there a lot of endorsement from companies in England for players, especially in the championship?
So it's only the very prominent players you see, right? The Sterlings of the world, the Kanes. If you're in England, you don't see a ton of other. You may see what's his name from Everton on the TV, the one that was injured the other day. But you don't see a ton of players on the TV advertising stuff. You see some players and some ex-players. I don't think I've seen too many championship players on the TV. But they may do a lot of the endorsement that is not publicized through certain media, right? They may do it, and it's with magazines and other organizations. It doesn't have to be on TV, frankly. So, but they do get sponsorship with sporting goods company and all that. It all depends.
Yeah. Go ahead, CC. You're saying something.
Saying that the taxes are a wash, but you have to realize a lot of players, all the whole European situation is. A lot of players certain players don't want to play in England. You have some players who definitely won't play in England because of the same tax situation. So as much as they could get a good tax accountant, some players just don't want to do it.
So the US has a tax treaty with the UK. You're going to pay the higher the two all the time. So the taxes, they're not exactly a wash, Neo. They're pretty close. But because the US, because if you go there, you're not paying state taxes, unless you have a property like in the US and they pay taxes on the income you generate from the property. You're only going to pay federal for the most part, depending on your income sources. And you do have a tax treaty, so you do get some offset, some taxes.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody said that Blake actually looks better with his feet for Philadelphia than he does for Jamaica. So they're debunking.
That's funny. Why? He's not getting any pressure when he plays for Philly. He has all day.
You know what? Maybe that's a good because Philadelphia has a very good defense.
But does he go long with Philly or does he pass the ball? They play from the back.
I don't know, you know. You know, I don't watch. I need to watch some MLS, you know.
But when I see Blake with his feet, I'm like, wow. You've been playing too long, not be able to play with the ball, actually.
Yeah,
and in
and
England
then
now, everybody's playing up on the back,
yeah.
coming the standard. Very few teams are just booting the ball downfield.
See, they are saying that Philadelphia Union is going to sell Brendan Aronson, brother, right now. RB Leipzig and Salzburg interested right now. So Philadelphia will sell. And he's saying Blake in the blink of an eye. Trust me. The right money coming, he's gone, brother. This
But no, look, I think Blake is selling Philly. He's comfortable. He's making very good money. So he's comfortable.
can they sell him? I mean, because I remember this guy, I keep forgetting his name. We spoke about him last night. He was at Atlanta, he's at
The
Newcastle.
Newcastle guy, Almiron.
Because he didn't want to leave Atlanta, you know. But MLS sold him.
Almiron went to Newcastle. Yeah, what he cost? About 12? Was it 12 or is it 20?
So the point I'm making, is it that players can be sold even if they don't want to?
No, I think someone was saying that. I think with the MLS, is the team who sells you if it is a regular transfer window, but they can get traded irrespective. So for Atalanta, sold Almiron, but if the league now can trade you, so Atalanta don't have a control over like trading you.
No, man.
So no player can be sold if they don't want to be sold. But it'd be very uncomfortable.
But even if you don't want
very
to be
uncomfortable, you're going to be near the 23s playing football. If they want to sell, you don't want to be sold. Secondly,
what I was saying is the money. If the league can say that Almiron, New York trade to New York Red Bulls. So a morning, Almiron could have go to Atalanta and hear that he's playing at New York Red Bulls. He has to go on a train, pack up and go. Atalanta can't really do much about it in terms of that. But if it is actually in terms of selling, Atalanta have the...
It's not Atalanta, it's Atlanta.
Atlanta. I forgot that Atalanta is Italy.
Yes, sir.
Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. I'm saying that Atlanta United would have the upper hand in terms of selling because selling is within the FIFA.
They're not really selling in our US enough. We don't sell people now. We trade them.
No, that's why I was saying that selling transfer is within FIFA recognized.
It's very funny how that works actually.
Trading is not something. The trading is more of a US system.
It is a US system
type of thing. So that is outside the whole FIFA thing. So I think that's all their thing set up. So that, but even so, management, I was listening to Fleming's interview the other day. I don't want to cut it, but he was talking about the whole MLS thing, and I think he's saying that a lot of persons don't understand that it's difficult for a Jamaican to make it to the MLS because if you're naturalized in the country, like if you have a green card, it's easier because then you become a domesticated player and they don't have to pay a money because you have to pay like, I don't know, it's not luxury tax, but you have to pay a fund. You have to
for
pay
international players.
Yeah, so you have to pay that to fill the spot. So you have to pay that plus pay the player.
All right, so let me tell you what it is. All right, so that is, I agree that there is that. But listen, you see, when you are a star, they will pay it. So you also have to bear that into the equation.
Yeah, but I mean, Mannings, even if you're saying when you're a star, Mannings, just look at it,
No.
All of the Jamaicans that are in the league, all of them domesticated.
No, listen.
From a green card.
All right, are you not hearing me? I am not disputing what you're saying. And I'm saying I understand what Junior Fleming is saying. But listen, if it were Lee and Bailey, they would be paying the money.
So my friend said they don't pay for average players.
International players.
They don't pay for average players.
All right, listen. All right, for example,
I hear you that it is difficult.
I understand what you're saying.
I know that he made a move and that's very good. But at the end of the day, if Demari Gray was in the same situation or Raheem Sterling, the club would have willingly paid the money.
Yeah, as in if Sterling was in the situation when he was at QPR, they're not gonna pay But
Why?
no, but because
Hold on,
they
all right.
wouldn't have paid it
Hold on. When he was at QPR, they want to pay the money. Why?
because he hasn't presented, he hasn't achieved what
But
he has
that's the
achieved
point.
now.
Okay, so you have made a point for me.
Basically, yeah, so the point is, a couple of years from now, when Flemings is about 30, 31, more than likely they are willing to pay the money because depending on if he achieves what he sets out to achieve.
CC, you sound like Karumi. CC,
No, but Stan, look at
CC,
me.
get the point, CC.
Yeah, well,
The man is 25 years old.
Yeah.
He's been playing in the league for a little while. They go watch them play and they say, good player, nice player, but not worth my resources. To spend my money, I'm going to spend it on somebody better. That's how it works. I'm not paying for average.
You
Pay for exceptional
yeah.
players.
And more marketable to the league.
CC is not. CC, come on, now, listen. All right. This is not. We don't need to have. Listen, I tell people we need to have the conversation that really are going to add value. This conversation, trust me. No, man. If it's difficult, if you are not better than the American or the home-born players, that's when it is difficult. If you as a player, you're better than the home-born players, then it's not difficult. The club will pay. But every club measures how good you are in comparison to the homegrown talent, and that's it.
And man, that's everywhere in football.
To be honest, man, I feel it's kind of different because of the fact that MLS is trying to get this visibility out there. And if Theory and not the one who's Theory and if David Silva right now pops up on the market, none of those players will get the opportunity over David Silva.
Why?
They're not at the level of that.
You're telling me right now, if David Silva turns up, you're telling me David Silva turns up and Raheem Sterling turns up?
Sterling is Sterling is a different situation. Sterling is younger.
So what is the point you're making? You can't compare David Silva with. Are you comparing David Silva with Junior Fleming? I'm trying to figure out.
No, not Junior Fleming. I'm saying to you that if a Jamaican player wants to make it in the MLS and there's an international spot, and a David Silva at David Silva's age is available, David Silva is getting the spot.
Why?
Because he's David Silva.
But is that the point we are making? That if the Jamaican player is better than watch the point we are making is that if you're better than the international players, you're gonna get the spot. If you don't get the spot, it is because you're not considered to be better.
So I'm gonna rephrase that, Mannings man.
But not even that only, Mannings man.
No, I'm gonna rephrase that. If you're discernibly better, because here's what happened, Mannings man. There is the whole element of the commerciality of the player and how much you can bring people into the seats, and your reputation may inform that. You may be David Silva, you have gotten older, not the same level. I bring in Junior Flemings, who may be a better player with better potential, but my club is very focused on the immediacy of how I can commercialize that player because he has that reputation. You may get the spot, but if you're that good at Junior Fleming, you will get a spot, not with my team, but another team. You will get a spot if you're that good. Think about all the South American players and Central American players now who are in MLS. It's because they view them to be better than what we're producing.
South American is like, for example, it's like this, Cranky. It's, for example, say I go to, for example, a KC Campion, certain schools, because of the history that the school has already built up, is like when you go there and leave, there's this expectation. Even if Cranky hasn't achieved X, we're going to take Cranky before the other person, because guess what? Cranky went to this institution. So you see, if a South American player, you look at a South American player first before you look at a Jamaican player.
But that's what you're saying, CC.
And it's because of South American and how their football, how far developed their football.
Let me ask you this, CC. If you see a man from Kingston College, an 18-year-old from Kingston College, and an 18-year-old from River Plate, right? Who you want to see? You're running a team down by Clarendon.
River Plate baller.
Okay, so we don't have no argument.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying. I said it to say, Mannings. I said it to say that a lot of times when some persons not see the players matriculate to the MLS, there are other factors involved.
CC.
So I don't want to beat the player them. You know what I mean?
CC. We see them too. We see them CC. We have to go see. We have to go MLS to see them. We see them.
Hey, I agree, CC. Listen, remember this. I am coming from a place where I've seen, and I don't want to stay on this. I've seen Tyrone Marshall, Andy Williams, Damon Ralph, Woldy Harris, the Walter Boyds, I mean Omar Cummins, I mean Andre Blake. Blake has been there for a while. Darren Mattox. I mean the list could go on. And I'm saying that the truth is a lot of these guys, no matter who was out there from where, they still held roster spots for long periods of time. Now, I think remember that
Mannings, they were, as I said, I don't want to cut in, but I'm saying most of these guys that you're calling got their green card and they got domestic spots.
So let me finish. Let me finish with you. These guys were not in it because they got green cards. Because there were still other players available and came in. Like even when they're being traded, remember that some of these guys were traded. And even when they traded, they still, when Andy Williams is a household name at Real Salt Lake, just like Andre Blake, there are many American keepers who would have come up and Philadelphia could have taken them and replaced him. It would not have cost them anything, but his quality has kept him in the league. I am saying that it is not easy to get in, but to make it that the reason why Jamaican players are not there is because it is not true. All I am saying is that if their quality is way above, people will pay the money. That's all I am saying. You know? I'm saying that there are those factors, but if people are willing and they are that good, they are going to pay the money. So I don't buy this thing that the only reason. So what you're going to try and convince me is that Mattox was there because he had a green card. So if he didn't have a green card, he would not be in the MLS. If Blake didn't have a green card, Blake would not be in the MLS. If Tyrone Marshall and Andy Williams never had green cards, these guys with Woldy Harris, the only reason why they were able to stay in the MLS was because they had green cards. I disagree with that.
And you know, I did not say that specifically, but I'm saying if you look at the Jamaican players that are in the MLS, most of these guys are residents of America. If you look at the guys who are in the USL, most of these guys are not residents of the US. So just look at the comparison.
All right. So are there players in the MLS who are not residents of the United States?
Jamaican players?
Are there no? Are there
Yes,
players?
are
There players in MLS who are not Jamaican, who are not Americans?
Of course, Mannings.
All right. Do you tell me? All right. So, are those players better than the Jamaican players? Are you saying that all the players in the MLS have green cards?
No, I'm not saying all the players. There are international players in the MLS, but I'm saying the international spots are reserved for image or super talent. Says either you can pull seats or you are a super talent.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, CC. If Junior Fleming were a super talent, we wouldn't be having a discussion. That's all I'm saying, you know.
So CC, if the spots are reserved for super talent and international have to have super talent, you're saying the Jamaicans don't have super talent. So why would they have them? You're saying that the US want to promote its own soccer with its own people and will only allocate spots for those who are exceptional, and they do it for everyone, regardless of what country you come from. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest though, as I said, I am just I think
so. Was Peter Lee Vassell drafted out of some college combined thing into the MLS from Jamaica? Was he? And he never had a green card?
He was drafted in it. Is he still in it?
So you're saying that they drafted? Hold on, they drafted him to play And
to
then the
play.
reason why he got out is because he never had a green card.
No, I'm not saying that is not. But Marines, I'm not saying
No
that
man,
is.
no man, I'm asking. Yes or no?
Remember,
All right. So no man,
remember,
no man, no man. I'm asking. Let me just make my case now. So you're saying no, he didn't. It wasn't because why you think Peter Lee Vassell did not keep his Rasta spot?
why he did not keep his Rasta spot?
Yeah.
Because he was taken up on an international spot and he was not at the level required for them to pay the money for him to fit to stay in that spot.
Okay. All right. Was L.A. Lewis drafted high in the draft and not in the MLS?
But none of these guys that are still in the league are even played in the league like that.
So
here's what
CC, every league, every year, flush out players. Every league, every team reassess their squad every year and only keep the players they believe are going to help them to progress and help them to advance and help them to improve, right? Those players may just be a casualty of the fact that they may not be good enough for the team that they were with. And a lot of Jamaicans may get opportunities through college. And, we have a draft system and they get drafted. But if they get drafted, they will not take
Hold on, I have to laugh. Sorry, Craig, I have to laugh. Paper plate and Claudine say they never get confused.
Because CC got on this rabbit hole and we can't get out of it.
I mean,
he goes in a rabbit hole and we are stuck in that hole. We can't move.
The thing about it is, but Mannings is just all right. They might say that I'm getting confused, but I'm trying to show you that when it comes on to certain factors, when it comes on to the US and all their football structure is set up, it is much more difficult than if you went to Europe, where Europe
CC, stop there, CC. Every league in almost every country have quotas. They have this construct. In England, you have to have a certain number of local players. Squad. That's why teams sometimes struggle. Every country does that to preserve their talent, to make sure their talent can be part of their league. They don't want a league of all foreigners in their league. So they reserve spot for their local talent. The US probably does similar construct. It makes a lot of sense.
All right. So CC, let me ask you this, right? So in England, right, there's also all right. So Sanchez is agreeing with you. He's saying that what the man is saying is that Jamaican without a green card is viewed as an international player. That we agree with. There are limited spots for those, and they save them for the very best players. This is making it difficult. We agree with that. What I am saying is it is not an excuse for not being in the league, because at the end of the day, if you are the very best player in your position, the club would pay the international clearance fee because of the value. If I am going to score 60 goals for the New York Red Bulls for a season, as an example, right, and I don't have a green card, they're going to pay that. They're going to pay that fee, right? So you have to be exceptional. It's just like Jamaica, to go into England to play now, Jamaica must remain within a certain ranking in terms of the FIFA ranking for a player to get a contract. To play in England in, I think, the Premier League or the Championship, you have to be in the top 50, I believe. So even there is a requirement.
No, you don't. You don't have to even play for Jamaica, man. You don't need to play for Jamaica to play in England.
Huh?
You don't need to play for Jamaica to be in England.
No.
Leon Bailey never made it in England too because he played for Jamaica.
No, man.
It didn't matter where Jamaica ranked. Leon Bailey would have gotten his contract. It didn't matter where Jamaica ranked.
So you're saying that there's no rule in England about being in the top 50?
I'm saying to you that rule is not hard and fast in terms of that, because there's other rules that you can make.
No, you can do other things like what Leon Bailey did. Leon Bailey was able to do that because he was in Europe, so he had to go to different teams. So he was moving from that is what made a difference.
That's what I was saying.
As a Jamaican, what I'm saying though is that as a Jamaican international, the ranking is important because only certain because
If you're not playing
So
in the
here,
top
formula,
five
here
league.
formula's telling you because Aston Villa paid over £10 million.
But I'm saying to you that, look, Leon Bailey played for Bayer Leverkusen, Europa League, Champions League, and a top 5 league in Europe.
No,
So
man.
hold on,
See,
so
see,
hold on, man.
saying
Hold
one,
on,
but
now.
you're not listening. See, you have to listen. See, you're
All
saying
right,
to
I'm
me.
listening. I'm listening.
See, what I'm saying is that I made a point about the ranking. You're dismissing that point. Using the Leon Bailey, and I'm trying to show you what the people are saying about the Leon Bailey thing.
But
You
I'm
are saying
saying
that.
they are
Let me
saying
ask, just me not like confusion. So me just ask you the question. Just answer me, no man. Come in a deeper back. Let me hear the question me ask you. Leon value meant he didn't have to play for Jamaica. All right, that's a different thing, CC. If for a junior Fleming, as an example, to move to play in the Premier League, Jamaica would have to be in the top 50.
and I'm saying to you that if Jonah Fleming's team, Jonah Fleming's team improves and goes to League One, Liga, and Jonah Fleming plays in Liga for a season, plus he plays in the Champions League during that season for that 12-month period. If Jonah Flemings now, through his agent, applies, get the opportunity for a club in England and applies for a work permit, he becomes eligible for a work permit because of the points that he would have gathered during that period playing for a Champions League top 5 European League team. And then Jamaica would not really factor in that decision.
Okay, so you're saying that the 50 ranking thing that they have for players is a waste of time because
No, I'm not saying it's a waste of time. I'm saying if you're playing in a lesser league, it is the best opportunity for you to go into England. If you're playing in a league, for example, that is ranked 10 in the UEFA coefficient, depending on where your league is ranked in the UEFA coefficient, if you're playing for Jamaica and they're in the top 50, there's a thing called auto pass. So you're eligible for the work permit in order to get to play in England.
Yeah, there are criteria other than the top 50, man.
So
Such as you play in the top 5 league, play La Liga, you play Bundesliga. You get special dispensation. If you're from South America, you get some special dispensation. So they you know how the countries are. They make their rules as they go along to suit them, so who they want their country.
All right.
So top 50 top 50 is one of them though.
One of them. All right. So it's very difficult.
Yes.
All right. So follow me now. It's very difficult. Just like getting in the USL, MLS. Very difficult. Follow me, CC. But if you are top talent, it can happen, don't it? Makes sense, right? So let me get back to my MLS point, because I want to get back to my point, If you're a top talent, as difficult as it is, how everything is structured, top talent get by. And that's what we have to understand. The thing is that if you are the top talent, you're going to get the spot. Though there are rules and all of that, and it's difficult, top talent always get the spot. And that we have to look at.
Yeah, what they do, they go plant them in some secondary league in Europe, and then play for a while to get a way to move them over into the top 5 leagues.
Yeah,
which is a lot of African players and some South American players. They do that a lot.
Right, so the Brazilians do that a lot. They will like the Brazilians will go and play in Ukraine. Like Fred and those guys that go to Ukraine, and they move from. I think there were times when there were actual clubs in England would buy players and send them to other leagues.
They do that. They still do that. They do that all the time. Especially players from Africa who they can't. They play them in Belgium, play them in Austria.
Because guess what
happened? Portugal buys a lot of South American players too. It's easy to get to Portugal from South America, give them the affiliation with Brazil. So that's
because if you play for Brazil or Argentina, you can get in. But guess what happened? Only 23 will be called for Argentina and Brazil. Only 11 will play. Yeah. So you try to get your players to the best places. But Brazilian full Shakhtar still.
Huh?
I'm saying Shakhtar is Brazil numbers.
But good discussion. But so let's come back. Because I want to get back to this Paul thing, because I want to know, like, what does Paul do now when he's not you understand me, like when he's not coaching the reggae boys What will his other roles be, Cranky? And can Paul all alone do this overall of the football that all of us have these plans? What should happen at the youth level, the academy level, the senior level, system of play, all of these things. Is this a one man's job?
No. I mean, look, this is the administration supposed to set this all up. Paul Hall is just an aspect of it, right? He's one aspect of it. He's going to be a key in terms of helping to help them formalize what they should look like and how they go out and execute. But he's not omnipotent. He can't go out and do all that by himself. That's not possible. He needs a lot of help, a lot of support. But we first have to get. You hear me ask the question in the chat management about the administration. Are they going to take courses also? Because that's key to the success of all this. It's one thing to have some coaching program on the side someplace. Is that even sustainable? What does that mean? Is there a structure around this? You have a coaching session for a few coaches and throughout the island. What does that mean for the coaches? How do coaches get opportunities after you give them the sessions and all that? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right. So the administration is key to the right structure in place. Everything else is, to me, secondary. Everything else will fall into place if the right people in the right seats doing the right things to make sure the program is going to be successful. But Paul Hall can help quite a bit because he has some know-how, given his experience working in the UK, where they have great structure in terms of their footballing. I'm not sure QPR is the best example, frankly, how they have operated. But no, he can help quite a bit and help the JFF. I think the JFF also needs help. I'm not sure they know that they need help, though, which is part of the problem. The JFF needs a lot of help, but I'm not sure they are aware. And I've always said, man, that the most important attribute you can have in life is awareness. I'm not sure they're aware of what their needs are to then go out and source those needs and ensure that they can put a program in place that's going to be successful.
Yeah, you have to know what you don't know.
Yeah, you have to know what you don't know. You have to know what you need. You have to know how to go source it, what the skill sets are, where you can source those skill sets. All the different elements that inform a good program, we talk about them ad nauseum, but I'm not sure that they have the knowledge or the wherewithal to get those and acquire those skill sets, or the fact that they probably need help, more intellectual capital, and where to get that capital from to help them progress the football. But they're starting someplace, right? So we're going to give them credit for at least initiating some things, like the coaching construct in terms of putting a coaching courses in place and sessions in place, and make sure the individuals who are actually doing coaching across the island that's going to influence the youth, that's going to lead and coach and manage, are actually being given the fundamentals and learning the skill sets needed to allow kids to be successful or playing the sport.
And I genuinely believe that Paul Hall, I get the feeling that he wants to be around long term. I get that vibe. That he wants to be around and I also believe the truth is we have talent. I think, and John Barnes said it. He said, "Listen, there is more talent now than when I was there."
Yeah, I mean,
and when I say talent, they're talking about all the Jamaicans available. They're not just looking at a group of players.
I guess the question is, when we now talk about talent in this forum, we're talking about local talent.
No, when I say talent, I'm talking about Jamaican talent.
I know, but I'm saying when we're talking about talent, that there's talent there. We know there's talent in other parts of the world that's Jamaican. But a lot of time the discussion is around local talent, which is how do we bring forth that talent? How do we evolve that talent? How we guide that talent? How we manage that talent? And how we get that talent the exposure they're looking for. I think that's what we're talking about. Because the other places, that talent is there. We know some of the talent is there, or is evolving, or is getting the right coaching, right mentorship, right support. It's local where we say we lack resources and know-how, but we know people have innate athletic ability. We know we just need to help them bring that out. And the question is, how do you do so?
Yeah. CC and Cranky, tell me if I'm picking. I'm just, nitpicking. But John Barnes was saying, right? He said they have a lot of talent there now, and they have more talent there now than they were when I was there, and they're a good team, and I know they will do very well.
I know you folks on the day a lot.
Right, he says they. He said a whole lot of they.
And he
Paul
was
Hall
born
says,
in Jamaica, by the way.
there you go. Paul Hall says, we have a good crop of players. You know, we have some good youngsters. So he says, we. Is it just nitpicking, or is it really John Barnes really just see I am here and they?
Well,
Or
I
Paul Hall
think
says, I'm a part. Or is
depends
it
on
a
his
they, really?
audience. Depending on the audience, you may need to say they, right? If I say we and you're English, you play for England, the audience don't know you. What does that we mean?
He was talking to Talawa TV about
No,
Jamaica.
I know. I'm saying he's been there so long, man. I understand where he's coming from. But you're right. He should go back and forth. He probably should be saying something a little bit different.
Was he there longer than Paul Hall, who said we?
No. What I'm saying is this: is that he's been in England a long time. He played for England. He probably should use some.
He should have said the Jamaica setup right now.
No, he shouldn't refer no pronoun.
Yeah, use the
What he
word.
said was there's a lot of talent. Wait a minute, use the word. There's a lot of talent.
There's
The
a lot of
talent is-
talent in Jamaica.
There's
right
a talent. Find a
Are
way
you
to say something that doesn't say they
Yeah,
or
there's a
even
lot of
we,
talent.
because again.
I'm saying, as I said, rightfully said, no use any pronouns because
Yeah.
because you can understand where it's coming from in terms of he's saying they, in terms of him being an England international or England national or you understand. So it's like, but guess what happens? It open up this can of worm of where we are already in the peculiar position of English representation versus Jamaican, even though he's Jamaican born. So we still, so it's kind of weird in terms of him saying that.
Does Talawa say we or does Talawa say they?
You know, I need to listen that I get to find out because then he says, I would love to coach them. You know, so it's a lot of those terms. I was wondering like if it's just, it just seemed like maybe it's me, maybe it's because I was just
We are very sensitive to Mannings, man. We're sensitive, you know.
No.
We like to think we're special, so you gotta say you're one of us, or else we don't want you.
No, I'm not saying that. I was just wondering with the wording because
No, it's a good observation. And it doesn't sound right because he was born in Jamaica. That's part
I'm
of the
not comparing it. Well, I'm not comparing it with even me or you. I'm saying that when I listen to Paul Hall, Paul Hall use a lot of we. And
but there's a difference, Mannings, man. Barnes never played for Jamaica, you know. Barnes, you gotta think about it, Mannings, man. Paul Hall played for Jamaica. He's part of that community. He went to the World Cup with Jamaica, even though he's British. He now coached a team. He was assistant coach. Versus
So that's what I was saying.
Barnes was fired by Jamaica, even though he had an unbeaten record. So it's got to be they. He can't be us because he's not part of us.
Claudia says it's you, Mannings, man.
The man says he was fired by them. He was fired by them, Stan.
I don't think it's you, Mannings, man. I think you'll be sensitive to that comment if someone is born in Jamaica. It's a fair observation.
Um,
even though he's been naturalized.
But the comparison that Marines is making is the fact that both of them is basically British. One is British.
If he said Jamaica,
English.
If he said Jamaica has a lot of talent, if he used the word Jamaica all the time, then there's no affiliation there in terms of association, right? Jamaica has a lot of talent. Yeah. Jamaica can go far. I know Jamaica can win. He's talking about the country itself, not we versus them.
But isn't one, as Bonnie just said, isn't one of them British and one of them English? I think to be British is to migrate, and to be English is to be born.
Like, remember, my comparison is with
I don't know what he's talking about. Britain includes the other islands there. English is
I'm saying to you that I'm saying to you, they call persons who are not born in England, they call them British, and persons who are born in England, they call them English.
Really?
Cranky, you know this.
What do they call people born in Wales? People born in Wales, what do they call them?
Welsh.
Yeah, but aren't they also British?
But they are also British. But I'm saying they're not English.
No, they're not English because they're not English.
But I'm just saying.
With England and Wales and Scotland.
Yeah, but I'm trying to say to you, if the person is not naturalized in person in England, they still don't call them English. They call them British. So even if
like,
you're naturalized in England, but you weren't born in England, you're a British.
where's Richard? Richard not here. Let's find out if he's British or English.
No, he's probably born in England, actually.
Oh. Yeah, but
So I was
like,
saying,
remember, my comparison is just between, the only point I'm making is that when I listen to both of them, I feel like Paul Hall is like he feels more a part of it, and maybe because he played with the team, and maybe that is
Man, he
it.
should manage, man, because what affiliation does John Barnes have with the team except he comes coach about 12 games? With the country period. He comes back
No, but he has done,
periodically.
I mean, on a serious level though, but he has always
What would Ryan Sterling say? What would Ryan Sterling say?
Huh?
What would Ryan say?
No, he wouldn't say they. I said like Jamaica. He's used what you said, like Jamaica. He would probably say Jamaica, right? So yeah, but yeah, maybe it's a way how they speak in England. I don't know. Like maybe if they were talking about the people in Barbados, they would say they.
They would.
Yeah, and it don't mean it's not a derogatory term. It's just that when I hear Paula speak, he yeah. All right, somebody try correct you down here. I'm gonna get to that. Oh my. Claudia says that CC she's so CC I'm not an American.
listen.
No, what she's saying is that because he's a naturalized American,
No,
but we don't
you're
call him American.
African American.
There's no other name for you. You're not North American. You're American.
She's African American.
All right, she's Jamaican American.
He's not African or American.
Well, but Cranky, you don't have that on the thing, the document where they ask you.
You also have something which says that no affiliation with anyone, which a lot of people are filling out nowadays. No, seriously. Even if the majority persuasion, they're filling that out on their form. They're not making any identification with any association with any persuasion. They check the other box, true. I call it.
Yeah, the other box. Norton Morris says Mannings, he's wrong. It is because Bailey value was over £10 million. Why he got into England?
Listen,
no, look. There's a point system, right? There's a point system informed by a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
Includes you play for your country, includes the way countries rank, includes you play in the top 5 leagues. It's a point system, and if you over a certain threshold, then you get in to the country to play.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, I mean, we have around 30 minutes. What do you think going to happen with the EPL? The entire Manchester City facility has been shut down. 22 players affected, including first team members. Pep also has it. Liverpool gave Arsenal 6 or a 9. I'm just kidding.
Here's the question: Do you play football when you have a cold? Do you shut it down when you have a cold, or do you get to go home when you have a cold? I'm not being flippant. I'm serious. No, I'm asking the question. When you have a cold, do you play and pass down to others, or do you go isolate?
You play.
Right. So here's the point I'm making, which at some point we'll have to make a decision as a society about what we do. Because it's so infectious. The different strands of the virus are becoming so infectious, but the severity is lessened. So where's your cutoff?
But you know what I'm wondering? Why so many clubs are having this issue, and I still see the stands. Is it that it's not affecting the general population?
No. Man. People have just said, you know what? I'm not going to be hibernating in my house 24/7. I'm going to live my life. But, so the hospitals are being filled up because not everyone have the immune system to withstand the virus in a good way. It's being filled up, but people are going on with their lives. And the Prime Minister says he's not shutting down the country.
But then there's another factor to Cranky, because I was reading something and it says that domestic violence went up during the period that they had lockdowns. So you have persons who probably go to the pub and watch them game or do other stuff and don't necessarily spend their time locked up in a house with somebody 24 hours for a period of time. So there's a lot of factors that I think the government is trying to not get back to in terms of...
No, that's not the factor. The main factor is this. It's economic activity. So if you're in your house, you can't be productive. You can't help companies generate revenues. The supply chain gets clogged up. Life just stops. And then you have inflation and society suffers. Look across where you are, for example, certain products, how the prices have skyrocketed. And governments are now struggling to say, what's best? We stay in our houses, no economic activity, prices go through the roof, people's life are worsened, or we take risks, some gonna die, but it's not material that number. That's the difficult decision that governments are making, which is not positive in any way, shape, or form, but it's the lesser of two evils.
I made a statement, one day, and it sounded away in terms of some people reacting because I said to them, once the vaccination rate is high, the spread of the virus will be higher.
My niece just had COVID.
The spread of the virus will be higher.
Yeah, she just got over COVID 2 days ago. I didn't catch it. My neighbors didn't catch it.
And I said that this,
yeah.
And I said
she
that
catch it, we put in her room, we lock her down. And she's only 5 days this time. It wasn't the month that she was the last time, or 3 weeks last time she had.
I say that to say this. When the vaccination rate is high, the restrictions are lowered, persons being infected might end up being more asymptomatic than symptomatic. So it's harder to notice. So therefore, by the time a person infects another person, it spreads so rapidly you wouldn't even notice. So that's why I said to persons that the higher the rate of vaccination, which to me I have no issue with it because I can say on this platform I am vaccinated. You understand? So I can say that. But I'm saying I saw it in terms of that, and then the fact that the restriction will be lowered, and then you see it now in the Premier League where I'm not saying all players are vaccinated, but there's a high level of vaccination. However, then there's this breakout, but it's the fact that most persons are asymptomatic. So by the time they're displaying symptoms, 10, 11 persons have already caught the virus.
No, that's not. No, CC, here's the issue, CC. People are tired of staying in their houses. People are socializing more. They're socializing in crowds. They're not taking any precautions at all. Because we look at the games, nobody has masks on. If you look at AFTV, for example, Robbie and his people, they just caught the virus and they went back doing the same thing. Nobody is the precaution. And the virus, you catch the virus 10, 11, 12 times. So what's going to happen? They're going to catch it again. And if you catch it, you got to go isolate.
Yeah, but the restrictions, though, Cranky, the restrictions are removed. Why? Are lowered, are minimized.
So the restriction may have been lowered because people are vaccinated. But what you're missing is this: is that when you're vaccinated, you still catch a virus. You still have to isolate.
No, I know that. I know that. That's what.
In fact, it may be worse because you know what? At least before you could contain the virus. No, you can't contain it because everybody's socializing.
Yeah. Exactly. But I'm saying persons won't socialize again because they're saying that they got vaccinated. The restriction is down. So a man gonna go back to doing what a man is doing before. So that's what they're doing. So you catch it 10, 15, 11 times.
Frankie, paper plate asking you a question. And then Claudia has a response. So we shouldn't fill out African American then?
I figured out because you know what? In today's environment, in the corporate environment, actually, you're trying to gauge what your diversity numbers are.
And Claudia said she never
filled out. Make sure you're recruiting diverse personnel, and you want to know what your ratio is in your organization, and you're really thoughtful about it. You do want to do that. So there are a lot of people who don't fill it out for different reasons. But I think people should fill it out.
Claudia said she didn't fill it out because she's Jamaican American.
The Jamaican.
No, I think that question has been asked in different forums about that whole equation. I don't think African Americans means Africans who parents were born here. It means if you're darkly shaded.
I was going to say something, but I can say this on management platform. It sounds a way when it says African American because you're using the word African to describe a certain color scheme of persons. However, you have white Africans as well. So it sounds a way.
So CC, in life, we can nitpick 101 things. Everybody knows what it means. People who want to nitpick will always nitpick, right?
Because
for example, they say Asians, Vietnamese, Chinese, Indians, they're not the same. They're under the same country, but they all got pooled because it makes it easier. Because people from South Vietnam, North Vietnam, South Korea, North Korea, they're not one and the same, but they all pull together on the Asian umbrella when you think about diversity in the corporate environment, because you know what? They want to simplify it. Because they try to come up with every single nationality you will never end.
But Cranky, that is not based off scholar, that is based off demographic. That's based off demographic. You understand? Demographic and geographical location. So so I'm saying to you that the word African is basically connotated to say Black American.
Yes, it
Dark
is.
skinned American.
No. It means in today's environment, it means black.
Color.
No, Black American. It means black, because when you say Black American, people say people who are Americans, who lineage or are born here. You could be a Jamaican, you could be a Barbadian, you could be English.
So that means Algerians aren't Africans.
No, man. Let me ask a good question. Yeah, I'm going to ask Americans and Egyptian, but let me ask Cranky. So, what do you call a Pakistani?
Asian.
So, a Pakistani is an Asian American.
Yep.
And an Indian.
Yes. Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese,
all of those fall under
South Korean, North Koreans. Yes, all of them. All of them. You put them in one bucket. Yes. And when you do your diversity numbers, that's how you categorize them, so you assess them. And if you're from the Philippines, there's another category for that also. I forgot what it is.
Chrissy said that you have Asian and South Asian. All right.
Depends on how your company want to classify.
That's kind of funny, but they call the people and they call it the Spanish Hispanic.
Yeah. Well, they know which Spanish you're talking about. Are you from Spain or are you from South America?
The South Americans, right?
Yeah. I think Hispanic is mainly meaning, it's interesting actually. Look, because even if you're a Black Hispanic, what are you? Are you an African American or are you Hispanic? I mean, it can get very complicated. People get it. They feel like the one that best fits who they want to be.
But I'm saying, Stan, African American is the only one that utilizes color as the basis in which they have the name. The others aren't color based, so it sounds away. It's the others. That's why persons are saying that they are.
Where's the color in African?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying to you. If a white person comes and tick African American, they might take by the form and say, "No, listen, this is that." The African American.
What CC is saying is that a South African, like who lives in Cape Town, white, like Hansi Cronier, is he an African American?
He's a Caucasian.
So is that about coming from Africa? It's about. That's what he said.
I'm telling you, it's a label management to be something else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The label is based off color, when the other labels are based off demographic and geographical location. Which it should have been off a geographical location if you're using that type of connotation.
No, it's based on it's all about. No, it's not. It's all about race.
Picking in a stand.
No, it's not geographical location. It's all about race. And trying to figure out how to capture all the race that fits in a certain bucket.
A man say Muta Baruka say once you're black, you are an African.
What's a white you're on?
Eh? You're a white man? No. I don't know. Yeah.
I was foreign spider.
And they have another category too. So if you're from Iran, I'm sure you probably check the other category. Then they have a Persian category.
This is good. He says a white man can be a South African, but he can't be an African. Really? You know what? I think we need to leave this alone because
the man say a great show.
And then somebody said we're confusing race with nationality.
No, we're not, because they're all intertwined. And if you were to decipher them, you'd realize that they're all very intertwined. It's about race in the US. It's about race, but it also ties back into nationality in some respect.
Elon Musk is what?
He's saying that paper plate, he's saying that he's an African American.
Well, he's supposed to be an African American because he's South African.
He's not African American.
But I'm saying he's
in
South
any
African.
way, shape, or form.
But he's South African.
He's not African American in any way, shape, or form.
What about like I wonder what like
Aliko Dangote is
persons like right Mahrez.
Riyad Mahrez.
No, people like Mahrez becomes challenging, right? People like Mahrez is becomes challenging.
Riyad Mahrez is African.
He's in other category.
Yeah, because they're born in France as well, of Algerian.
He's other.
Okay.
There's a catch-all box, you know.
Zinedine Zidane, those guys.
Yeah, there's a catch-all box. You don't fit anywhere you put the other.
Yeah.
And the Moroccans, because I think the guy that accused you.
Every time we have this discussion, you know, Toki True Blue put this in.
He must have a pig pen.
Big brother come in.
But never see no pig bottle no cow pen. So
and he's saying that South African is not a race, CC. It's a nationality. So that is why you couldn't put that you're a South African. You're an African American.
Yeah.
But it doesn't answer what happened, because if, like I say, if a Caucasian person checks the box, he can't check African American.
Management. The fact that someone who is born of a Caucasian mom and a black father is deemed to be black makes no sense. In any logical world, that makes no sense.
No, but
some people create the world the way they want the world to be, and we operate in that world, but that makes no. So you're denying one part of your whole family tree, a whole section you're denying.
To be honest, though, Stan, they need to get rid of that part of the label.
It makes no sense.
They just need to get rid of it. It's either you're American, or if you have Asian and all the other stuff, you can say. But
no, the reason why they can't get rid of it is because of the history of the country and how you share resources in the country and how you allocate resources. You have to make sure that people have been disadvantaged, that you're trying to make the society more equitable, and you can only do so if you know how people are set up, how they're situated, and how you're going to portion those resources. That's key to make sure you have more equity in the system.
You know what you have in Jamaica? Male, female. Two categories.
No, I think what you have in Jamaica is, let me not say.
You know what is funny though, but I mean, instead of filling out those forms, Jamaicans don't identify themselves in any other setting as no African American.
No, you're just Jamaican. You're nothing other than Jamaican.
It's just for the purpose of filling out forms, really. Yeah. But it's how, like Cranky says, it's how you're viewed by other people. Other people don't see you as a Jamaican. They see there's one category for all of you people.
I think Jamaicans use the eye test when they're figuring out who you are. It's about the eye test. It's all about the eye test. When we put on paper, it's about the eye test.
Chris Reed, I'll go further with this thing, you know.
European.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I said, Crank, a Jamaican person get a farm in Jamaica. It's so simple to fill out a farm in Jamaica, right? Because there are certain factors. But people still pay people to fill out a farm because some persons still can't manage filling out the farm. Imagine taking up a farm in America.
What race are you? What race are you, CC?
What race am I?
Yeah.
You have
to be honest. To be honest.
Listen, you know, I'm gonna study them thing this still. So I'm gonna study them thing there. I just know that. What is race, by the way?
What do you mean you don't study those things? What do you mean?
Saying, what is race?
Cranky, explain to you what is race. I don't think we need to get it.
What is race?
Look in the mirror.
I just know that I'm a dark skinned person.
No, sir, you're black. Why you have to say dark skin?
No, look, your race is based on some shared physical characteristics, right? Socially and physical characteristics. That then defines who you are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the race is what? What is the race? African, European? Those are races?
Nah, people are the ones who want to put people into boxes based on nationality, as was mentioned before, versus shift. Say if you're Caucasian South African, you're a Caucasian. But that's your shared characteristics. And also, definition is made by people sometimes who, you know what, have a certain persuasion. They're the ones who define what those things are, and should we allow those definitions to stand?
Yeah.
Then you go into a whole theoretical discussion and philosophical discussion about certain things.
Yeah, man. All right. I see. I think it was Pepper Paul. Pepper Paul. The D license allows you to coach. I think he said it earlier. Youth grassroots, which is not that don't include high school, like primary.
That's
Prep
what
school.
Connolly.
Yeah, primary and prep school, that kind of, and basic school and stuff like that. I think.
He's a Connolly coach.
No, Pepper Paul. I don't know what level coach is at, but yeah, that's what it is. But listen, I want to thank you guys for coming on, Cranky. Thank you as usual for coming on. I mean, we started with coaching all the way to color, from coaching colors, just how far we have gone, and a whole lot of things in between. But always appreciate you guys.
And CC, optically, I know what you are or who you are.
No, I'm saying
optically, I can tell who you are. I'm not struggling like you are. I know you're struggling, but
I'm saying my ethnicity is African.
I know what your race is based on optically what I'm seeing.
But I'm not.
And you haven't started doing that thing yet to change your physical complexion. Because when you do, if you start doing it, I may not recognize you.
Yeah. I am aboriginal.
Yeah, man. But thank you guys so much, so much for coming on. Listen, and for all the coaches up there, please make the most of the opportunity. You see, they did say they were going to publish the information. They have published it. Maximize it. Step in the right direction. We need to see more. So let's see. The year has started out good. Well, ended good last year. We had a press conference. Good ending to the year. Now we have coaching courses. So all the C's are going well. So let's see.
So management, and before you go, I heard someone questioning on TVJ while we were playing Peru. I thought it was an interesting question actually. What's the purpose of the Peru game? Is it for 2026 or is it for preparation for the qualifiers? And so why is only 4 players will probably start in the team? It's another story, or 6 players, whatever the number is.
It's very
for another day.
Yeah, but I did ask those questions, what is the purpose of the game? I think I think like some players that we don't see, let me say it this way, some of the local players that we don't see that weren't called in this squad that were a part of the last couple of teams, I would not be surprised if they don't get called again. Like I think like this is the writing on the wall for some players. That's my thing, because so you couldn't I think they wanted to look at players because they're not going to call back certain players. So you couldn't just have 6 players. You had to play a game to look at them and give Paul Hall an opportunity, I think, to probably, all right, what can I do? Because I have Lowe, I have Lawrence, I have Speedy. Let's see.
And you have Haka too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
I know you somehow you just missed that name, that experience, that vibes, man.
Yeah, I missed that name. I don't know how I could miss that name. It's very hard to miss. Yeah, man, but thank you. Paper plate, bless up, man. Man, thanks for coming on, everyone. Please, people, before you leave, you understand me, please make sure you hit the like button. If you have not yet, please also subscribe to the channel. Really, really a good show. Very interesting discussion. We want to thank you for staying with us. We are over the 3-hour mark, right? I want you to also check out some of the other platforms that are out there. We saw the Coach's Desk he was on earlier. Coach Minzy that is at the Coach's Desk. Formula Sports was on Unseen Sports, CC Sports TV. We also saw Dre Any Weather in the building. So bless up and thank you again, everyone, home and abroad. As long as you are a yard man, you are a Jamaican. Even if you don't live a yard and you never born a yard. From you say yard, you are a Jamaican. So bless up to all the Jamaicans all over, all the other nationalities, races, what again? Whatever you are. I mean, all the others, bless up as well. You understand me? You know, bless up, bless up, bless up. Oh, J Ross, you miss it. You have to hit the replay, bro. So really, really appreciate your time and your company. So big up Ricardo Badger, J Ross, Fresh God, Paper Plate, Lolo, Foreign Spider. Uh uh, did I say Paper Plate?
Forget Claudia now. Forget Claudia.
Claudia, of course, I can't miss out Claudia, the only female that is always here. I'm listen, I'm telling you, Claudia, your husband is such a good guy. He allows you to spend so much time
Manny's
discussing
man, you are
sports.
doing so well. You're doing so
Bless
well.
up.
Manny's man,
Jerome.
you're doing so well. He allows her, Manny's man.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
allows. I think those things are the other way around, the Manny's man. The other way around.
I said that Manny's man, I wanted to bring up this. I don't know. There's a statement, I won't call in the name or anything, but there's a statement that was uttered at the Clarendon College. And
Oh, no. We're not going to bring up that right now. Jerome 876. Good played. Bless up. Chris Elliott. Bless up yourself. Yeah, man. Chris Wayne in the building. Pepe Paul. Yeah, man. Bless up yourself. Again, Claudia, H. Claudia, RJ's teacher, student, all of those things. CC Sportland, Norton, Morris. Everyone. Can't remember all the names, can't call all the names, but you know, we love and appreciate all your support. Neo Sovereign. Been a while, my friend. So good to have seen you. Jason, big up. Gunners boss, Jamie. Ricketts, yes. Robert, big up yourself all the way over there in the big city. Karumi gave me a very hard time. Listen, you took Alex out of the cave. Alex came out, Karumi. I've not heard from Alex in such a long while, but because of you had to say something. Unseen Sports, bless up Patrick, bless up yourself. Dan Concrete.
Which Alex you talking about? Alex from
Yeah, man, Alex Reed.
Wow.
Karumi pulled him out. Can you believe it? Brian! Bless up yourself. Paul. Respect. Yeah, man. All right. So there we go, people. Thank you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the night.
Bless
and
up.
we will meet again tomorrow. Before we go, also, I want you to remind you to show some love to our sponsors, Tricnic. Tricnic is a Jamaican-owned and operated company in Canada that uses authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. And they are offering, again, working with us to give 25% discount on all their products. All you have to do is shop at www.tricnic.ca and use the code I am sure sports to get your discount. Big up. So check them out. Support them as they support us. Fresh God, how you doing, Madan? Bless up yourself, Fresh God in the building, All right. Here we go. Yeah, you know what start calling us name, but I think it is the end of some players. But we're gonna have a discussion on that, you know. That is that my thought, you know. Respect. Lulu, yeah, man, bless up every time, every day, everyone. All right. So take care. One and all. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Tricnic Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?